Broken. Good to know. Good to know. Okay. All right. For the first 1.5 thousand people tuning into the stream, it is so good to have you in here. I hope that your Sunday is going is going well. I know that mine has. I woke up very slowly. Me and my girlfriend had a nice brunch, came home, even had a nap on the couch. It was great. So I'm in a good mood and I'm ready for some debates. It is so good to have you all in here. So a couple of things that you guys could do to help us push out this live to more people, so we could hopefully be pulling some Trump supporters in here to have some debates. Double tap away on that phone screen. It seriously does help this live push out more across that For You page to draw the Trump supporters in. Let's try to get up to 200,000 likes. Something else you could do is repost the live, which is a brand new feature. If you click the share button, you'll then see this yellow repost button. And if you click that yellow repost button, it'll shoot out to your followers. It'll shoot out to, your friends and whatnot. Now, we're going to go ahead and try to get that very first debate of the day going, the very first debate of the day going. So if you're watching and you're like, hey, I kind of do support Trump, I would love for you to hop in the queue. We definitely have a lot to go over, everybody. We have a lot to go over. There's a couple really important things that we've tracked and seen in the American economy since Donald Trump's term begun that are worth referencing. Real quick, one fun fact before we hop into the debates. Long-term employment, which has been employed for 27 weeks plus, has now rose to 1.8 million people. And that's actually the highest since Donald Trump's first term and his first year in 2017. So interesting, right? Now, we're going to go to get that very first Trump supporter of the day loaded up in the box, guys. Go ahead and let me know if you support Trump down below by dropping a Maga with your age. Welcome in, TJ. How old are you?
Oh my God, I can't see nothing.
Chris, thank you for the galaxy. So you can't see anything. I could hear you. You could hear me. And the chat can too. It's just a weird glitch where you don't have any type of visual. Do you think that you need that visual? If so, you could just leave, then re-request, and you'll get it back. But if it's not too big of a deal, then, this will do.
No, we're good. Let's go.
Cool. How old are you?
18.
18. Do you support Trump?
Yes, of course.
All right, TJ, real quick, what I'm going to do before we hop into our debate for the day is I'm actually going to go ahead and start the live over on YouTube. So once again, for everybody tuning in on TikTok, good to have you in here with us for the day. Make sure that we're double tapping. Make sure we're sharing and spamming that chat. It's going to be a good day of debates in front of us. But let's go ahead and get that broadcast over on YouTube started. So here we go, everyone. We're going to get that booted up and running right now. All right. Welcome in for everybody tuning in on YouTube. As always, good to have you in here with us for the day. We are on the 147th episode of One Liberal versus 100 Trump supporters. We basically just debate Trump supporters until they rage quit, which typically happens around the 4-hour mark. Now, we already have our very first Trump supporter of the day loaded up into the live stream, so we're also broadcasting over on TikTok, and that's where we get the debates from. Mr. TJ, he told us that he's 18, he supports Trump. And I was just about to pass the mic to him to start his argument insofar as why, but he actually just left. I don't know why. I'm going to go ahead and send him an invitation back. I don't know. Maybe he's running. Maybe he dipped and he's running. I've no clue what drove him to do that, but it is what it is. He's gone now. I guess that we're just going to go back to the hunt. So let's go ahead and throw up the rules over on the TikTok stream now. Of course, if you're on YouTube, you won't be able to see this, but on the TikTok stream right now, we have this overlay that says only join if you're 18 plus, American Maga, and ready to debate. So everybody make sure to take a look at the rules before you hop in the queue. And now we're going to head back to the queue. It actually looks like TJ's back. Perfect. Welcome back, TJ. What happened?
Sorry, I was fixing my thing.
No worries, TJ. Well, I'm going to pass the mic off to you, man. Tell us why you support Trump.
Because he's the king of the world.
So he's not the king of the world. Do you want him to be the king of the world?
Yeah.
Okay, so you just want to be treaded on? You want to be tread on? You want to be tread all over? You want to be stomped on by King Trump?
Yes.
Okay, I mean, you're trolling. Do you actually support Trump?
Yeah, I actually support Trump.
Okay, what is the real reason why? Because obviously that's not.
Because he's a really good businessman.
Because he's a great businessman. No, for sure. The 6 bankruptcies are really killer. I don't know, man. I feel like if he was such a good businessman, that he'd actually be able to design and implement good economic policy for the country. And obviously, that hasn't been going well. Let's just take a look at a couple data points from the last 175 days. So first and foremost, the economy grew at an overall rate of 1.3% so far this year, which is incredibly suboptimal. I don't think that we've seen said economic growth for a very long time. That's very bad. Inflation has now rose to 2.6% over the last year, accelerating since April. So inflation is up. Job growth has sharply slowed. We only added 73,000 jobs in July. In fact, the report was so bad that it led to Trump firing the head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics because he's such an authoritarian. As well as long-term unemployment is up. It's risen to 1.8 million people, which is the highest since 2017, excluding the pandemic. If he's such a good businessman, why is that what we're seeing, TJ?
May I ask where you got this information from?
Yeah, the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the FRED. So it's going to be the Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis. And yeah, that covers everything. The BLS and FRED.
I don't know. I still think he's a great businessman compared to everybody else.
So then why is his economic policy so bad?
I mean, he's only been president for how long?
4.5 years.
No, I'm talking about like just recently.
175 days.
Yeah, it does not take 175 days to fix everything.
Well, he's just made it worse. Like, if things were just slightly better, I'd get it. But no, things are worse.
He's made it better. What do you mean?
No, he hasn't. What has he made better? Inflation is up. GDP growth is down.
Literally,
Reported profits from the S&P 500 are down. Unemployment is up. Long-term unemployment is up. Growth rate of our GDP is down. What's better?
Literally the king of the world. What do you mean?
Okay, so what is the king of the world made better? Because you said things are better. What's better specifically? Okay. Well, I'm pretty sure that TJ just left, folks. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the next guest now. TJ, if you could still hear me, man, I appreciate you for that conversation. But let's go to get that next Trump supporter up in the box. We got Nick O loading in for the near 5,000 people tuned in on TikTok. It is so good to have you in here with us for the day. Welcome in, Mr. Nick. Do you support Trump?
Yes.
How old are you?
18.
Good to hear, man. Let's go ahead and hop into a debate. Quickly, before we do, I have 2 donations to thank real quick. For the first donation of the day, we got $25 over on PayPal from Justin. Justin, thank you so much. And once again, it's good to have you in here with us for the day. If we could please all show some love to Justin down below. Let's get at least 250 W Justins while we're hopping into this next debate with Nick. That would be very meaningful. Thank you, Justin. As well as Michelle with a $1 over on Venmo saying that today's my sister's birthday and all she wanted was for me to donate to you. Her name is Mackenzie. Happy birthday, Mackenzie, if you're watching. You got a great sister. Now, Mr. Nick, we can't hear you right now because, well, he left the live, so I don't know why he did that, but he did. We're going to move on to the next guest right now. If you're watching over on TikTok, go ahead and put a MAGA with your age down below in that chat, given that you're at least 18 from America and support Trump, and we'll get you up here to debate. Here we go, everybody. Welcome in, Valentina. Do you support Trump? Valentina is not here. What about you, no name? I'm just going to call you Bike because your profile picture is a bike. Do you support Trump? Well, it looks like Bike doesn't either because Bike left. So this is, here's the deal, everybody. It's been very hard for us to get debates recently. People don't want to talk to me. I can't tell you why. They just don't.
Yo.
Either that or Trump supporters are no more. What's up, Louis? How old are you?
I'm 18.
Everybody's 18 today. Okay, Louis, do you support Trump?
Yeah, of course I do.
Louis, you really shouldn't do that. He's a terrible president. Terrible man, too. Just terrible all around. Really bad.
I would have to disagree with you respectfully, Dean. I would. I feel like he's done a lot more. Well, if we're not looking at his past and we're looking at the present right now, currently, I think he's done much better than the Biden administration. Within the first 100 days, 175, something like that.
Okay, I'm just gonna tell you like the same thing that I told the last guest about a couple different data points that we see coming out right now. How could you say that he's doing better than the Biden-Harris administrations if things are worse off than they were when we had the Biden-Harris administration? Inflation's up, unemployment's up, GDP growth is down. Where do we go from here?
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. With the economic standpoint, I really am not educated.
Okay. So then in what sense are you saying that he's doing much better?
So for the past 4 years, I'm very I'm pro deportation. I think that you should be a
Okay, well,
a legal citizen.
we're hitting some lag here, man. You got that Maga mobile. I don't know what to tell you. I can't hear you, Louis.
Oh, dude, what the fuck? I'm on an iPhone right now.
Okay, well, it's not the iPhone that's going to make it lag. It's going to be the internet connection. That's why I said Maga Mobile. But I think I can hear you all right now, Mr. Maga Louie. So, Mr. Maga Louie, you told us that you're a big fan of the deportation. To what end? I mean, why do you support it? Obviously, it's not doing marvels for the economy. Like, why do you support mass deportation? Tell me, what about mass deportation is so great? In fact, tell me what undocumented immigrants are doing in this country to hurt the country. Can you name one way undocumented immigrants hurt America?
I can. There's been multiple cases where fentanyl has been produced into our country, been
Damn, Maga Louie, I gotta kick you for that. I feel bad. So, one thing that Louie didn't know, and honestly, he really caught astray there, and that maybe many of you other, people watching on TikTok that might want to request up don't know, is that you actually can't say the names of DRUGS on TikTok, nor can you even say the word DRUG. So the moment those words are said, the live gets restricted. It is very shitty TikTok TOS. Louie, I really wish we could have continued that conversation because it would have been marvelous to tell you that 90% of the DRUGS that come into this country are brought in by legal citizens, not undocumented immigrants. Then also because undocumented immigrants are like 3 times less likely to commit any and all crimes, they're significantly less likely to disperse them once they're in the country. And that's what I would have told Louie, but I had to remove him. I mean, I feel bad for him. I don't think that was his fault. It's kind of, TikTok's fault for having really terrible TOS. But we're going to move on to the next guest right now, everybody. Welcome in, Mr. Austin G. Do you support Trump?
Hello, can you hear me?
I sure can. Austin, you big MAGA guy? You big Trump guy, Mr. Austin?
I am. I voted for him in 2020. No, 2024. I'm 19.
Very nice. Do you happen to have any type of Bluetooth device connected to your phone, AirPods, headphones, etc.? Because if you disconnect them, your audio quality will be much better, Austin. While Austin's doing that, I want to go ahead and quickly thank Elwin for the 20 cents over on PayPal. That's very kind of you. Then Reagan, thank you for the $25 donation on PayPal. Reagan, holy shit, thank you. That's very kind. Reagan says, you're the GOAT. Thanks for streaming. Thank you for being here and watching the stream, Reagan. Everybody, show some love to Reagan down below. Thank you, seriously. Now, Austin, you sound much better already. Take it away. Why the hell do you support this maniac?
Yeah, so I really like his stance on immigration. Sorry, I'm kind of nervous.
You still got something like blocking your mic, I feel like. Are you talking through your phone's microphone?
Yeah, I'm talking through my phone's microphone.
It'll do. It'll do. Take it away. He's doing something. We don't know what he's doing. He's maybe fixing something. It's worth telling you, Austin, when you leave the TikTok app, I can't hear you. Then also for everybody spamming, he's 19 but voted in 2020. He meant to say 2024. Then he ended up saying 2024. I believe him. I'm gonna give the guess this one, guys. Austin, yeah, man, I still can't hear you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go and pull up a second guest because I want to leave Austin on the live. I want to talk to him about Donald Trump's great economic policy, but it kind of seems like he's leaving right now. I don't know. Yeah, he just fully left. No clue what happened to Austin. Guess he got a little bit of stage fright. Very unfortunate. Welcome in. Do you support Trump?
No, but thanks for being awesome.
Well, B, I appreciate you so much for the love. Unfortunately, as per the rules, I am going to go ahead and have to remove you here. We're going to be pretty hard on the rules today, everybody. I mean, very seriously, we are going to be going hard. Quite frankly, we want to ensure that the only people that we have up here are going to be Trump supporters. Now, let's go ahead and move on to the next guest. If you're in the queue, make sure you're following those rules, everybody. If need be, I'll go ahead and throw them back up on screen. But in a nutshell, they're pretty simple. Just an American adult that supports Trump. That's all you got to be in order to request. Welcome in, Johnny B. Are you following those rules? Do you support that maniac orange menace in the Oval Office?
No, I don't. I just want to show my appreciation.
I really appreciate you as well as your appreciation, Johnny. However, as I told the last guest, I am going to have to remove you, but thank you, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Let's go to move on to the next guest, guys. We got Laura loading up. Here we go, everybody. Laura's loading up. Hello, Laura. Do you support that maniac orange menace in the Oval Office? No, Laura doesn't. Laura actually left. So we're going to go ahead and throw the rules up on screen while we're looking for that next guest. It looks like a lot of people in the queue are not following them. So take a peek at that phone screen if you want to know what they are. We're going to go and move on to the next guest right now, everybody.
Oh.
Hello and welcome in.
Oh crap, I did not mean to. My bad. I did not mean to record.
No worries, man. Moving on. Here we go. We got Cap loading in. That is KAP. Here we go. Oh, all right. Moving on. Here we go. Hello, Cap. Do you support Trump?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and how old are you?
I'm 21, sir.
21. You're older than me. Okay, all right. Well. Listen, Cap. Why the hell do you support this this terrible guy and terrible president? Tell us.
Well, I would like to ask you a question. Why do you think he's terrible?
Oh, well, I think he's terrible for many reasons. I think that his character is terrible because he's an adjudicated rapist that's also in the Epstein files. That's pretty simple. I think that his domestic policy is terrible because right now long-term unemployment is at a high since his first term. Not to mention that quarterly profits in the S&P 500 are down. Job growth is sharply slowed. It was so bad in July of last month that he fired the head of the BLS, and the U.S. economy has been growing at an incredibly slow rate, 1.3% so far this year, and inflation is up 2.6% over the past year. So, I mean, there's a start. We could also go into a social policy about how he's deporting people for committing a misdemeanor, even though he's in the Oval Office with 34 felonies, and it's, destroying our economy, destroying our manufacturers, destabilizing everything. And, I could kind of go on all day, man. So that's why I typically ask the question, why do you support him?
Really? More just, fuck the Jews.
All right. Well, I just came up here to drop some slurs. Well, I think that is, a true depiction of the way that a lot of Trump supporters operate. See, they don't care about how well our economy's doing. They don't care about how well Americans are doing. They don't care about how the world's doing. They don't care about making things better. They even don't really care about making things worse. They just care about spreading hate. That's it. That's it. He's like, I hate gay people so much that I'm willing to run this country into the ground just to be closer in proximity to that goal. And I mean, that's the perspective. But we're going to go to move on to the next guest. I just truly hope that people like Cap know that they're like America last, because a lot of the people that will purport shit like that claim to be America first. Think of like, the Nick Fuentes Groypers. Those are the people that claim shit like that. No, that's America last, buddy. Anyways, welcome in. Steve, do you support Trump?
Yes.
Age, please.
19.
What year were you born in?
2006.
Okay, and why do you support Trump?
I think he's a nice guy.
Okay, well, I mean, hey, just simply being a nice guy doesn't mean that you're fit to run the country, but he's definitely not a nice guy.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay, well, then respond to my counter argument. A, being a nice guy doesn't mean that you're fit to run the country, but B, he's definitely not a nice guy. Go ahead and respond.
I guess he's not.
Okay, so you concede?
Yeah.
Okay, what the fuck is going on today, dude? I feel like we're like living in like a nightmare today. I don't know what's going on. Like I want some debates. What a weird group of guests that we've seen so far, you guys. I don't know. If you guys want to hopefully get some more. Okay, that is your age. How old are you right now, please?
19.
19. What year were you born in?
2006.
Wow. Okay. You guys actually are 19, and you guys support Trump?
Yes.
Oh, cringe.
Hell
Why?
yeah. Of course. A lot of.
Okay, now they're both laughing. I have a
Because
feeling that you're not actually Trump
policies.
supporters.
No, I am. It's
we
just
like his
it's
policies.
yeah.
Can you guys talk one at a time, please?
I'm homophobic and I like how he's a.
Okay, we're going to move on to the next guest. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to ask you guys to go ahead and drop a MAGA with your age down below in that comment section if you want to come up. I don't know what's going on with a guest today. Not many debates. It looks like everybody just wants to come up here to hate on gay people. Like, yeah, guys, I'm sorry that this is, what the climate of politics in America looks like in 2025. I just don't think that there's really any intelligible position that's for Trump, if I'm going to be honest. Like, the economy is suffering, the country is suffering, the dollar is suffering, his character is abysmal, his promises have not been kept. So it's like, the only way to still support Trump is by just being a pretty clean-cut bigot. Now, welcome in, Daniel. Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
All right, awesome. Daniel, how old are you?
I am 20.
Phenomenal. Daniel, before we hop into the debate, let me really quickly thank Emily for the $5 donation over on Venmo. Emily says, hi, Dean. I'm in for a long car ride. Thank you for keeping me company. Don't worry, Emily. This live stream will make your car ride fast. It does that for me, too. Thank you so much, Emily. As well as Samantha with the $2 and Tava with the $5 over on PayPal. You guys are awesome, and thank you both so very much. Now, Mr. Guest, Daniel T193. That rhymes. How funny. Take it away. Tell us why you support this the maniac in the Oval Office.
Yeah. So I like his foreign policy, mainly in the Middle East. Mind you, I'm not pro-Israel because I'm Russian Orthodox, but I do like how his foreign policy revolves around isolating Iran on that front. I like how he ended the 12-day war with a show of strength that did end the conflict immediately.
Okay, I don't think that would have started in the first place if he wasn't elected. Because he'll jump as high as Israel wants him to. He's a total shill for Israel. He's pro-Israel. Israel first, some might even say. And, Israel struck Iran first. That's what started the war. And they knew that they would require American bunker blasters in order to hit their Fordo nuclear facility in the mountains. So, in other words, Israel hinged on the fact that we would help them out by bombing those facilities when they decided to bomb them in the first place. And I don't think if Kamala Harris was elected, that they would have, thought she was as pro-Israel as he is, right? He's willing to do whatever they want. Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, at least they supported some weapons embargoes, right? So I think that's a bad point.
I don't think Biden would be a good example for this one. He definitely jumped as high as Israel asked him to on that front too.
No, I think that he definitely jumped for them, but not jumped as high as Trump, especially Kamala Harris.
I actually think Trump was okay. So if we back up on this, I think Trump was definitely pissed on this. I don't think he expected this shit because with Trump's immediate, I think what sort of happened was Trump wanted to turn Gaza into some economic zone or something instead of having Israel occupy it. And then Netanyahu and Trump were bitching at each other probably on Twitter or something.
Donald Trump said he wanted to ethnically cleanse everybody else on the Gaza Strip and then give it to Israel. So false.
Can I get a quote on that?
Yeah, just go watch his press conference with Netanyahu. It's very clear about how he wanted to build a Riviera, then gift it to Netanyahu. Even in like that AI video that he posted on all of his socials, it showed like him and Netanyahu partying.
I didn't see that. All I saw was the fact Trump was trying to get an economic deal or something with Saudi Arabia, and Israel was trying to get a cut out of that, and Trump told him no on that. And
what? No, Donald Trump launched the plan to ethnically cleanse the Gaza Strip, build a Riviera, and gift it to Israel. Then also, like, Trump told Netanyahu to finish the job. I mean, maybe you're talking about something else than what I am, but no, what I'm saying is absolutely true. I mean, there's a whole press conference over this. This was like one of the major things that was one moment. This was one of the major things. One moment. This was one of the major things that was being reported in American politics like 2 or 3 months ago. And Donald Trump just made a game out of all of it by posting AI videos about how fun the Gaza Strip would be once he ethnically cleansed everybody on it. So, I mean, you definitely can't deny any of these things. This is very true. And if you were tuned into politics in America like 2 or 3 months ago, you would have seen it all for yourself.
I'm sorry I want to harp on this. I want to see a direct quote or something of the Trump actually saying he wants to ethnically cleanse the Gaza Strip.
Oh, yeah, no, please just go look up Trump Netanyahu press conference. You will be directed to a whole press conference where Donald Trump describes how he wants to forcefully relocate all the Palestinians on the Gaza Strip to Egypt and Jordan. He even threatened sanctions and tariffs on Egypt and Jordan if they didn't accept the forceful relocations of the Palestinians. And then he said, I wanted to level it all, and then he wanted to build on it. That is the definition of ethnic cleansing.
I did hear something about that in the news. Yeah, that's true. Or at least I heard of it. I guess the second thing, I do like the cabinet pick Pete Head stuff. No. I know people in the military, and they actually really like that candidate pick because he was an infantry captain.
Okay, so because he appointed some dude with a couple DUIs that leaked signal messages twice, that's what makes you support him as president. I think that's a very bad argument.
Hey, he. Okay, so firstly, just a little bit of humor. that's all the military. But second, I will say I like his more. He's very tactical based. Like he is doing a lot of stuff to reinforce standard within the military. Like
by like what?
for example, upping the 3 mile, upping the fitness standards in the military. I've noticed that. Harping down on things like beard standards, that type of thing.
Okay, so because they're like harping on beard standards, you support this guy as president that is destroying our economy, forcefully deporting millions of our workers, infringing upon women's rights. Well, I'm just saying, like, enforcing beard standards on people in the military definitely doesn't give you enough reason to support Trump as president, right? That's a crazy fucking argument. That is insane. Like Donald Trump passed a big beautiful bill that took healthcare away from 10 million Americans, food stamps away from 3 million Americans, free school student lunches away from 18 million school students. And now you're telling me that you support all of this because he's reinforcing beard standards in the military?
On the food stamp thing, my understanding of that is that on the bill itself, it just says in order to get aid if you're if you're able to work, right? That you have to work at least 20 hours. I think that's reasonable.
No, wrong. So food stamps already had work requirements imposed onto it. They just defunded it by $156 billion per year federally.
How much of that is actually harming versus trying to streamline things?
Well, according to the projections from the CBPP and the CBO, like that amount of money being defunded is going to take 3 million people off of the benefits. I think every single one of those people is going to be harmed.
Say that one more time. Sorry, we were talking at the same time.
You asked me how much of that is actually harming people. Bro, fucking think about it. According to the estimates that I gave you from the CBPP and the CBO, 3 million people are going to lose benefits. Every person that is going to lose benefits is going to be harmed.
Okay, that's fair. I'm not educated enough for this, man. I'm going to hop off.
No worries, Daniel. Have a good rest of your day.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, we're going to move on to the next guest. Here we go, everybody. Guys, go and put a Maga with your rage down below in that chat if you'd like to come up and have a conversation with me. Let's go and move on to the next guest, Brian Quick, y'all. Just, be patient while we get them loaded in. Hello, Brian. Do you support, I guess do you happen to support the worst president of your lifetime, Donald J. Trump?
Yes, sir. But thank you for taking my call, and thank you for your opinion.
Oh, well, sounds good, man. I appreciate that. Let's go and hop into our debate. Before we do, I have a couple of people to thank. First and foremost, Suzanne, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the $100 over on Venmo. Suzanne, that is so kind of you. That is completely outrageous. That is so much money, Suzanne. Thank you. If we could all please show some love to Suzanne in the live stream comment sections for her generosity, that would be phenomenal. Just spam like 1,000 Suzanne W. Suzanne says, sounds like you may have done all you can do in this platform. How do we help elevate now? Help elevate you. I'm not so sure of what your question is there, Suzanne. I think that there is more work to be done with continued conversations like these. But I think that the day when these conversations are no longer needed is close. I'm not going to lie. I think that we've seen how Trump supporters are, harder to get a hold of, and then those that we do, don't even have the best arguments. And I feel like the day when we could go like a full 4 hours without getting one is probably the day I'll stop doing this. But thank you for the love, Suzanne. That is incredibly kind of you. As well as Ember, thank you for the $10 over on Venmo. That is incredibly kind of you. Thank you, Ember. And then Andromeda, thank you for the $5 over on Venmo for keeping you sane in these times. Thank you so much. And then Shantae with the $5 for staying woke and setting the record straight. Hell yeah, Shantae, I appreciate that. And then Lorna, that is Lorna, thank you for the $15 donation over on PayPal. Thank you, Lorna. Guys, show some love to Lorna down below. Lorna said, you give me hope for this current generation. Keep being you, Lorna. That is so kind. Thank you, Lorna. Everybody show some love to Lorna while we pass the mic off to Brian to tell us why he supports Trump.
It's multiple factors, but the biggest thing is foreign policy and border control. And the only reason I say that is I was a 4-year Marine Corps vet, and I've seen other countries. I've seen poor countries. I've seen diluted countries. I believe America is the greatest country on the face of the earth, no matter who the president is. And it's not made up by the president, but by the people.
Sorry, I was expecting you to go into those reasons, so I took some really big bites. Now, I actually want to ask you a question about something that you just said. Well,
Yes, sir.
I guess I'll give one of my comments. You said that America is the greatest country on earth. I think that it is great in a lot of ways. You know, like we definitely have the world's largest economy. You know, one of the world's stablest dollars, right, et cetera, et cetera. Now, there's also a lot of ways where it's not the greatest, you know, like GDP per capita, average qualities of lives, happiness, okay? And those are like very meaningful to the human experience. So overall, I don't know if I'd say that we're number one. Now,
GDP per capita, wouldn't we rank like third or fourth?
we're pretty high up there. We're pretty high up there. But
Yes, sir.
anyways, so one thing that I want to bring up with you, you told us that you're a veteran, you told us that you served. So you took an oath to uphold and protect the Constitution, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's what I want to talk about with you, because I feel like one of my biggest gripes with Donald Trump as president has been his attack on the Constitution. And honestly, if I put myself in your shoes as a person that was willing to die to defend the American Constitution, like not being in holding vitriol in my heart against Trump just seems like a no-brainer. You know, like for instance, think of all the soldiers that have died to maybe, like, just for an example, defend the 14th Amendment. Think of all the people that have been willing to die to defend the 14th Amendment. You know, my great uncle, he went out and served in Vietnam, and he was a captain in the Air Force, and he
Thank
had
you for
his,
your service.
and he had his
That was a
helicopter
rough-
go down, and he's
rough
one,
war.
yeah, and he's one of the 500 MIA. He died to protect the Constitution. Now, what has Trump done? Now he's signed an executive order into law trying to overturn the 14th Amendment. I think that is a huge slap in the face and a big moment of disrespect to every single person that has been willing to die or has died to defend this country and to defend the Constitution. And that's not the only way he's launched an attack on the Constitution, but that's where we'll start.
The 14th Amendment ratifies what the definition of a citizen,
So,
if I'm correct.
14th Amendment is birthright citizenship, due process, minimal protections for voting for all people regardless of race, given that they're 21 or older, and then equality for everybody in the jurisdiction of the country.
Yes, sir. I believe in equality and women's rights. A woman should do what she wants to do with her body, and everybody is equal under the eyes of God or whoever you believe God is.
And he's launched an attack on the 14th Amendment because he signed an executive order into law the day he was inaugurated, attempting to ban birthright citizenship for the children of undocumented immigrants, explicitly contradicting the text of the 14th. Right? So I'd say that that is a threat to our Constitution. And if there's somebody that's taken an oath to protect our Constitution and they still support him as president, I'd say that's an oath breaker.
I appreciate your view on that, but there is no such thing as an open border. If you have open borders, you don't have a country. You should have closed borders, and the people that come rightfully over here should be here. And just like anywhere else, if I would go to Mexico and I would overstay my visa, they'd bring me back. I've done it. I overstayed my visa in Guatemala. They brought me back. That was my bad, but they still brought me back to America. I like the women in Guatemala. That's why I stayed over there a little too long.
Dude, okay, let's try to stay on topic here. You're telling us that you overstayed a visa in Guatemala. Continue.
That's the same as anybody over here.
Okay, well, imagine that you overstay that visa in Guatemala, and then Guatemala deported you for a Center for Terrorists in El Salvador, where you were starved, beaten, and tortured for 3 weeks. How would that make you feel?
If I knew that was the repercussions, I wouldn't overstay my visa.
No. You didn't know that was a repercussion because Guatemala just got a new leader who doesn't really care about what the rule of law has been before him. And see, that's what Donald Trump has done to Abrigo Garcia. Abrigo Garcia was deported to CCOT, where he was starved, beaten, and tortured for 3 weeks. And then I don't know his name, but there was another immigrant, and with this news broke like 3 days ago, who was a legal green card holder in this country, who was accidentally deported to CCOT, where he was SA'd. He was SA'd in CCOT. He was deported to the Center for Terrorists where he was SA'd. Right? Imagine if that happened to you when you overstayed your visa in Guatemala. How the hell would that make you feel about Guatemala's leadership? Knowing you, a military vet, older gentleman, you'd probably turn around and call them a communist shithole, right?
No, because that wasn't their stance when I went there. Their stance was, I have to leave. If I knew their stance when I got there, I would have never overstayed my visa. No offense, not trying to be.
But if that, If that was the stance and that happened to you, and you didn't know that was the stance until that happened to you, what would you say about the leadership of the country that determined that stance?
I don't travel without knowing the stance of the country.
Okay, so you're just not willing to really answer my question here, man.
Yes, sir.
Like for whatever reason, you didn't know. Like maybe that stance was updated when you were in the country, and then they sent you to CCOT, where you were beat, tortured, and essayed, like Abrigo Garcia and another immigrant who had the same thing happen to him. How would that make you feel about the leadership of Guatemala?
I don't know if I committed a crime in this country and I went to prison in this country, I get essayed in this country. It's no different. Prison is prison, no matter what prison you're in. Prison in America is pretty nice. Prison in Guatemala and El Salvador and Nicaragua and Nigeria is pretty fucking bad.
So there's also a lot of prisons in America that are bad. That's really worth pointing out. I understand that some prisons here can be like better on average compared to prisons elsewhere, but like still yet a lot of the prisons here are like absolutely terrible. But I mean I still don't really think that you're like responding to what I'm saying here, because I don't know, like from my perspective, if I was you, I was in Guatemala and I overstayed my visa when I was in Guatemala, and then the Guatemala government took me, sent me on a plane without due process to CCOT in El Salvador, where I was starved, beat, tortured, and essayed for 3 weeks before I was re-released to America. I would, oh my God, I would be fuming. I would be like, holy shit, there is a massive need for reform in the policy of the Guatemalan government. And I would look at the Guatemalan government and I would say, fuck you. You guys suck so much. Oh my God. Like, why wouldn't that be your response too?
That's a good question. It's just, I've seen really bad countries, and America's really not that bad, no matter who it is. Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Donald Trump.
That wasn't the question that I asked you though, Brian. Listen, man, I feel like, dude, you sound like a smart enough guy to be able to acknowledge what I'm asking you, and I feel like you're intentionally not answering it. That's my thoughts on you right now.
Say it one more time, and I'll answer it.
Would you agree with the perspective of when you were in Guatemala and you overstayed your visa, that you were deported to CCOT in El Salvador, where you were tortured, beaten, starved, and raped for 3 weeks, and El Salvador said that the Guatemalan government had control over your conditions when you were in CCOT, which is something El Salvador said about the U.S., by the way, and then you got re-released to America after that, and that was your punishment for just simply overstaying your visa? How would that make you feel about the Guatemalan government?
It'd make me never go back there again.
Right, and it'd make you say that the Guatemalan government is very bad and needs reform, right?
No, it means their people don't want me, so therefore I'll never go there again.
But you wouldn't say that would make their government bad? You wouldn't say that would make their government corrupt? You wouldn't say that would make their government evil?
I'm not gonna stereotype an entire group of human beings because that's what they want.
No, you're not stereotyping Guatemalan people as evil. You would be calling the Guatemalan government that determined this is the legislation in which they want to impose and enact evil.
Well, the government got there for a purpose and for a reason. It's because the people want them there. It's the people don't want them there. They should overthrow said government. I don't speak for an entire group of people.
Okay, if they literally fucking wanted to execute you because you overstayed your visa, would you call the government shit?
Shame on me for being there when I shouldn't have been there.
Bro, yeah. So basically the reflection is if Donald Trump started executing immigrants, you wouldn't even call him the president.
Absolutely not. No, sir.
Okay, so why would Donald Trump be a bad leader if he started executing immigrants, but not the Guatemala government?
But that's a little country in the middle of Central America. And this is the United States of America.
Wait, so basically if you're telling me that the only government that you can critique is the American government, that means that you only have critiques of the American government. So therefore you think that America is the worst country on earth. Because it's the only government that you critique. You have no critiques of any other government outside of the American government. And what is a critique? What is a critique is going to be, you know, like some type of opinion of opposite, right? An opinion of opposite, if that makes sense. You're saying that you disagree with that. But now you're telling me that you only have disagreements with the American government and you don't have disagreements with any other government. And obviously the government you have the most disagreements with is going to be the worst, because that's what we mean by disagreement. So therefore you think that the American government is the worst government on earth.
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay, so then you do have disagreements and critiques with other
the only place on earth where immigrants can have the most accumulated wealth in the entire world, You look at Asians here. They have the most accumulative wealth of any race in America. Why is that? They were in concentration camps. They got treated like shit. They got their house in order. They got their people in order. And now they have the most accumulated wealth of any race in America. And why is that?
I'm going to answer your question because it's a pivot for my argument. Brian, I listen, I want to have a discussion with you. I really do. But it's just like, I feel like I'm saying things and you're just not responding to them.
But I am. But I love this country. And the reason I love this country is no matter who you are, where you came from, or how shitty your circumstance is, you can make it in this country. And my biggest argument is the Asians. They were in concentration camps, and now they have the most.
Listen, I disagree with that too. I think that there's systemic barriers that need to be addressed that make it significantly harder for people to achieve success in this country. But that argument is completely adjacent, away from the position that I was asking you to respond to. Like we still haven't gained any more clarity on the original argument that I was trying to run that you haven't responded to, right?
Yeah.
Right? Like, why not? It's, like, we haven't been able to gain, like, more clarity on what your thoughts are on my original argument because you haven't really responded to it.
This is the greatest country on the face of the earth.
All right. No,
for the simple fact.
He's not going to respond to it. Okay. Brian, I'm going to go to move on to the next guest, and I hope you have a good rest of your day, man.
Hey, likewise, brother.
We're going to go to move on, y'all. He wasn't responding to the argument. So let's go to get that next Trump supporter up. Any of you are watching and you support Trump, go ahead and drop a MAGA with your age down below in that comment section. I'll get you pulled up here and we're going to have a discussion. Now, all right, everybody. Yeah, deflection, final boss. So real, so real. Yo, Mark, Spam and Dean Lost down below in that comment section. I sent you an invite. I'd love to have you up here. We're going to go to get that next guest, John Ross, up in here. SUZ, thank you for the Starlight Scepter. That's very kind of you, SUZ. We definitely have an interesting queue right now. We definitely have a very interesting queue right now. I feel like there's like a lot of like old guys named John in there. Like I'm trying to load one John in here. He looks like around 55 and his picture, his profile picture is him without a shirt on in the pool. I'd love to talk to him. Welcome in, ManDude75. You support Trump? ManDude75 doesn't support Trump. Dude, Cody Witt is back in the queue, dude. Remember, you guys know Cody. If you watch frequently, then you definitely know who he is. He's back in the queue, y'all. And now we're going to go ahead and get that next guest up in here. And we do have a couple donations. Holy crap, you guys are just going off today. Oh, you are a child. We're going to be able to kick you, then put the rules back on the screen. So if you're trying to join the stream real quick, direct your attention front and center. Take a look at the rules that are now in front of my face. Those rules are going to tell you if you can or can't request. Make sure you are following all of the rules listed if you are in the queue. Just got to be an American adult that supports Trump, that's ready to debate. Super duper simple. Welcome in. Do you support Trump? No, they didn't. Moving on to the next guest. Here we go, everybody. We got Chris Lane 1 loading up. While Chris Lane 1 is loading up, let's go ahead and thank a handful of people. First and foremost, Jay. Oh, my God. Jay, holy crap. Jay, thank you for the $125 donation. Thank you so much. If we could all please show some love to Jay while we're working on loading up that next guest, that would mean the world to me. We're going to kick that guest. He had a lot of background noise. Jay, seriously, thank you so much. Jesus Christ. Jay, thank you. I appreciate that. Let's go to load up that next guest. Then while we're doing that, we're also going to go ahead and read Jay's message. Jay said, before I went to work today, I read a Reuters report that said 6 more people died in Gaza from starvation and malnutrition. I remember last week when your own agony over a photo of a baby that starved to death. Dean, how's any of this possible? Much less happening in a world so capable of doing better. It's because people don't care, and for whatever reason, they just want to unapologetically shill for Israel. I have like no fucking clue, dude. If it was any other country but Israel, I don't think that they'd be getting away with this. You know, like I remember when Israel struck Iran, and then like the world leaders of every country ever came out, and they were like, pray for Israel, after Israel just baselessly struck Iran. It was dystopian, dude. Welcome in. Do you support Trump?
You just do grass is green ass fucking arguments to gain popularity. Like, this is your same argument every single day. Everybody agrees with this shit. Anybody knows it's wrong. And to push stupid narratives most of the time when you're pipelined to the alt-right. And Let's not forget about what you did to that old dude who was literally just talking about his kids, and you doxed the fuck out of him.
Well, that's not
for
true.
your fucking show.
I don't know why you'd lie.
You didn't dox him?
No, I didn't.
You didn't give out his information on live, his name, his area, when
Actually,
he said something
actually, no, I didn't.
fairly neutral.
Like in response to like that specific question, the answer is like very clearly no.
What was that specific question?
You said like, oh,
And
that
what
he
the
gave out his
context
like
is
his
it?
name and his address and his area on live. Actually, no, I didn't. Very nice.
There was multiple clips. No, maybe you didn't give his exact address, but you pushed the narrative for people to attack him, and you used your platform to have people attack him for saying something completely neutral.
Oh, what?
And you
Okay,
twisted what he said into a weird way to
let's hone into what you just said.
tear down this man's
You're
life.
telling me that I push my fan base to attack this father that was saying things that were completely neutral. I will respond to the first part of that position, but before I respond to the first part of your last statement, I want to hone in on the second part where you said completely neutral. I just want to clarify. You think that guy was a good dad?
I didn't watch
What's that?
enough to say that he's a good dad. I don't know anything about his dad.
I don't think that you really
took
watched
his
any at all.
sister,
Like the other
twisted
day
it,
when we
and
were
used your
talking.
platform to dox him.
Oh, you think that I
And-
twisted his words?
and the same thing.
Wait, I just want to clarify. You think that I twisted his words?
Yes, you
Okay,
did.
I'm going to go ahead and play you a clip of me talking not only to him, but also to his wife. I want you to point out very clearly where I twisted their words. Are you ready?
Yes.
Talking at the start of the conversation, like the very first thing that was said was, here's Donald Trump walking into the changing rooms of these naked teens. And what was your first response to that?
Did the parents give consent? Did they allow it?
Goatman, precisely. I don't think that a parent can allow for their underage teen to be perved on.
You don't think, or that's the law? There's a difference. There's a huge difference. What's the law?
Wait, are you... So no, that's actually not the law.
What is the law, Dean? What is the age of consent? What is the law?
We're talking about teenagers, under 18 here.
Right, and they don't have the legal authority to make that consent. So whose responsibility is it then? Who is it? Is it God? It's not God. Who is it?
So the child can't consent to sex, and the parent can't consent to the child having sex.
So where does the consent fall? Because
nobody.
When you
Consent
go to
doesn't
the
fall on
doctor's
anyone.
office, when kids go on field trips, who's signing the papers? Because it's not the child. From my research, statements from the girl specifically that he went and saw in the changing room said that it was more transactional than anything. If anything, because these girls are competing against each other, they went to Donald Trump when he was back there to get some sort of promotion, but
his wife. So let's go ahead and clarify. The first statement that you made was that, this father, this family, they were just making completely neutral statements. I'm going to go ahead and classify that claim
I didn't say anything
is pro
in regards to the wife.
is pro P3DO rhetoric. And then additionally, you said that I twisted their words. Where in there did I twist their words?
You didn't play the whole clip. I was asking for more context as to who the lady was.
Oh,
But
well, I'll go ahead and play
you
more.
said
Go ahead and
to
listen.
Vinny
Wait,
that
one second.
he
You said
when
you said that I did it. You wait, one. You said that I did it. One second. You said that I did it. No. You said that I didn't play the full clip. Let's go ahead and listen to more.
advice from the guy because he's a businessman. This is exactly what these women that were back there have said on BuzzFeed. I've seen it. I've read it.
What do you mean it was transactional when he's walking
They were
on a
trying
naked
to
teenage
get.
girls?
It was transactional in a business sense. It was
Can you
transactional
explain
in a
that to us?
business. Yes, I can because
Okay,
Trump is
so
a
let me
businessman.
explain.
He has like
You asked
huge.
the dad, and later on, you asked him who has the consent. Who is it? Okay, go to that part when you're asking the dad about the consent.
I mean, you heard.
Also, I'm
of-
gonna have to go soon.
Yeah, you're gonna have to go
Can
soon
I
because
turn
you're
back?
getting
No,
fucking
no.
cooked.
Nobody's getting cooked. Go to the later part in the clip. I don't have time for all the. I was like, go to when you ask him about the consent between the children and the parents.
Yeah, listen.
In that context of that event, in the context of that whole scenario.
Yeah, he clarifies that on the beginning. I asked him for clarification of his original response after the clip that you're referencing. I'll play that part again. Like the other day when we were talking that's referencing the conversation you're pointing out. Start of the conversation. Like the very first thing that was said was, here's Donald Trump walking into the changing rooms of these naked teens. And what was your first response to that?
Did the parents give consent? Did they allow it?
Exactly,
precisely.
because as much as it's weird, it's not like the children can just say yes, bring them in. It's the parents are the legal guardians. It's not like the Trump just walked into those parents If they said yes, that was on them. It may be illegal, but that's what the parent did. The children can't say, yes, I want that person in my room. That's what the parents did. And that's exactly, that's the
my
system.
friend. Hey, my
That's
friend.
how-
Hey, my friend. No,
What
you're
friend?
wrong. You're wrong. You're very,
How
very
am I-
wrong. Yeah, because kids can't consent, but parents can't consent for the kid either. Wabam. See, now you're just fully advocating for child exploitation. Yeah, that's all it is. Same thing that we just heard in that clip. I don't know why you're willing to die on this hill. Like, you understand that you could just condemn those parents, but you hate me more than you hate literal like child exploiters. Then you hate P3DOs. You hate me more than you hate parents that will just blatantly say that they think parents have the right to sexually exploit their kids. You hate me more than them. That's crazy. That's so crazy. Just because I critique your president, just because I sit here and I want to make a better country for everybody in it, not just rich white men, you hate me more than that shit. Like, that just completely refutes, and throws the narrative out the window that you care about the country. No, you just care about bowing the knee, being a part of a group, and serving to some greater power, even if that greater power has nobody's best interests at heart apart from his.
Oh,
And I clock you on that shit. And that puts me at the bottom of the list. When you're like drawing a list of things that you hate, you'll say, oh, what's at the bottom of the list? Pedos? No. Child exploitation? No. People that critique my God? Yeah.
I'm critiquing you and the way you twisted it. That's literally the legal system. Nobody's defending them or the way it is. That's literally how it's set up. It's not like the children can sit there and say, yes, they want them in. If it was anybody's question...
What you're describing is also not true. No, it is not legal for parents to consent for their children to be sexually exploited.
No, that wasn't the question. It was if he could go into the locker room. It wasn't, can Trump
That
come in there
is
and
sexual exploitation.
Also, I'll be right back in 2 minutes.
No. That is sexual exploitation. What you just described of an older man perving on
Just
naked
saying,
teenagers
walking
while
into
they're
a room.
undressed in their locker room is sexual exploitation.
That may be, like, you could say that. You could foreshadow that if you're saying him
That's
walking in.
not what I'm
and
saying. That's what
nobody's
it
there.
is.
You could assume that, but that's
not an
what you
assumption.
said.
That's
It
a
wasn't,
definition.
That wasn't context. Okay, give me 1 minute. I'll be right back.
See, you know, guys, like this is old news at this point. We've gone over this about 1,000,000,001 times. But the reason why I keep allowing this conversation when people want to bring it up is because it is so satisfying to see these manufactured like rage baiters get like completely proven wrong. You know what I mean? Like the false claims, this fictitious narrative that has been lobbed at me by this guy and everybody else on the right.
Okay,
I take so much satisfaction out of completely
half the people in your
refuting.
comments. I saw you get a donation yesterday where she donated a bunch of money and she's like, hold on, it's okay. I don't even listen. I don't even agree with most of these things. I just like you, so I agree with whatever you say. Verbatim, damn near, that's what she said just yesterday. Half of your comments, all of your comments are filled with people just like that because, sure, I don't agree with Trump or pretty much any of his policies. But I think that's probably all of America. It's hard to believe anybody who is on his side. But just arguing that point every day for...
Hey, quickly, why do you think some of the people in the chat like me?
Because you give grass is green ass yes answers. Like, everybody's going to agree with that.
Well,
except for the fucking idiots. But then you use that platform to twist it on regular people.
You know what?
To twist them out of... for views. For views, really. You just wanted more people to gather around you.
I appreciate you for calling me a good debater and saying that I'm very well grounded in reality. See, my goal is to give grass is green arguments about why Trump is so bad, because it is so obvious that he is bad.
Because it's clear as day.
Congratulations, congratulations, fucking duh. And you know what else is clear as day? You know what else is a grass is green argument? Let me make it clear. I'm going to give you a clear as day grass is green argument right now. Are you ready? Just let me know that I have your attention. Parents can't consent to their children being sexually exploited.
You didn't say that in the clip. Your question was...
Oh, really? How much do you want to bet?
Parents consent if
how much do you want to bet?
Who would have the consent? Who would have the consent there?
Put some money on it. How much do you want to bet?
Bet what? I'm not saying that parents can consent to
how much money?
children.
How much money do you want to
I'm
bet?
not saying that
I
parents
didn't
can
either
consent to that at
directly
all.
say that sentence or something very similar to the idea that parents
let me
don't
finish
have
my
the right to sexually exploit their kids.
Nobody said that. Nobody said that. You asked
Okay.
in the clip,
Okay.
even with the
How
data.
much money do you
Even
wanna
when
bet?
we went back. Wait, hold on.
No,
Even
no,
when we went
stop
back-
crashing out and answer my question. How much money do you want to bet that I didn't say either parents don't have the right to sexually exploit their kids or parents can't allow older men to perv on their naked kids, and they disagreed with that? How much money do you want to bet?
Nobody said anything about that.
I
Nobody's
know
talking
that. Dude,
about
stop
the words.
repeating that. I know that you think nobody said that. Let me make it clear. I know that that's what you think. I'm asking you, how much money do you want to put behind what you think?
Oh, you said that to him, and he said, yes, parents can consent to their kids being sexually assaulted. He said,
I'm saying that I said that I don't think that parents can allow their teenagers to be perved on by naked, while
That's
naked by
not what
grown
you
adult
said.
men.
You were talking-
Bro, stop it. I know that you don't think I said that. I'm asking you, how much money are you willing to put on the fact that you don't
I'm
think I
talking
said
about
that?
in our argument right now. You tried to just advocate and...
Homie, listen. I understand.
No, homie, you just tried to change...
Okay, he needs a timeout. He needs a timeout because this guy's
Hold on.
he's getting so like flustered and emotional because I'm like
Nobody's
whacking him.
flustered, Jeremy.
You are so flustered, or you'd be able to track a very simple question. Stop talking and lend me your ears because we need to be able to clear this up. You are like too flustered to even have a back and forth anymore. You just keep on repeating yourself, even though I've acknowledged what you're saying, and I've asked you a question predicated on what you've said. Okay? We all know that you think nobody said that in the clip. So stop repeating it and allow me to ask you a question about the fact that you think nobody said that in the clip. Like, holy shit. Okay? You're making the claim that
We're
in the
at a-
clip.
Okay,
I
so
did not.
explain
No,
your-
stop talking. Listen. Stop talking. Holy crap. It is very clear that you've continued to repeat that you do not think in the clip that I just played you, I said parents can't allow their kids to be perved on while naked by grown adult men. And then they disagreed with that. You've made it clear that you don't think that was said, that you don't think that happened. Now I'm disagreeing with you. I know that was said. I know that happened. And the question I'm asking you is, how much money do you want to bet that you're right and I'm wrong?
I would say that you asked me that question just now. You asked me, we are talking about the same context of the room. With the clips you just played back for all of us. You played the first and the second time when you went and doubled down on the conversation for context and asked him about all the conversations you had and if you wanted to double down on his answer. You rephrased it again. If Trump was walking into the changing room at the whatever, you asked him who would have the consent there. I did not hear.
He's obviously not going to put any money on it, so we're just going to go to play the clip.
I'm saying I didn't hear that. You said it. Play the clip. Play the clip where he agrees with it.
Did they allow it?
Goatman, precisely. I don't think that a parent can allow for their underage teen to be perved on.
You don't think, or that's the law? There's a difference. There's a huge difference. What's the law?
Wait, are you... So I... Oh.
He was asking if you knew, and for clarification, and I'm not defending anything that goes on with them, or if
yeah. How does it feel to be so fucking wrong?
Nobody's wrong, but let me finish. I'm just saying I'm not.
Well, I mean, at the beginning you said that they were like making completely neutral, normal statements. Was that one of the neutral, normal statements?
No, they were asking you if you knew what you were talking about. And he was asking, and that wasn't even the question at first. When you dox this guy,
well, there you go, everybody. People he hated me more than he hated P3dios. He hated me more than he hates child exploiters. He hates me more than he hates parents that think they have the right to sexually exploit their kids. I am more hated by Maga. I am more hated by Maga than people that exploit children. How does that make you guys feel? I know that makes me feel. How does that make you guys feel? Now, let's go to move on to the next guest. We got Johnny loading up in here. We got a couple people to thank real quick. Yo, first and foremost, a disgusted veteran. Thank you for the $50 super chat over on YouTube. I appreciate you so much for the love, as well as thank you so much for the point to consider, veteran. Thank you. Everybody, let's get 500 veteran W's down below in that comment section. Thank you so much for your kindness, bro. I love you. You already know. You're here every single day. Show some love to veteran down below, y'all. Show some love to veteran down below. Seriously, thank you so much for the love.
How's it going?
It's going phenomenal. How old are you?
Say again?
How old are you?
I'm 32.
Do you support Trump?
That's a strong word. Because I did support him. He's my president. So yes, I do support my presidents.
Do you think that he's a good president?
Back in the day.
Okay, not anymore. I'm going to go to remove you from the live. Thank you for popping up, Johnny. Guys, if you're trying to join, just make sure that you do support the president. And also know you don't have to support the president. In fact, you should be even more critical of the president than anybody else in your life. But let's go to move on to the next guest. Ty, everyone, just give it a second. Also, Jason, thank you for the 12 pounds over on YouTube Super Chat, saying thank you for educating people. Thank you for the love, Jason. You are phenomenal. Then also, real quick here, let's see. Michelle, thank you for the $5 over on PayPal, saying you look great in green. Thank you, Michelle. F, thank you for the $5 over on PayPal, saying your courage is inspiring. Thank you, F. Jasmine with the $10. I appreciate you so much for the love, y'all. While we're working on getting that next Trump supporter up in here, show some love to Jasmine. And Denise, thank you so much for the $60 donation over on PayPal. Jeez, Denise, y'all, show some love. Thank you. Thank you, Denise. Denise says, rehashing the situation with the changing room of teens is and the orange stained perv is important in how it continues to expose a blatant, brainwashed, thoughtless, and uneducated and objectively hateful base who support him. No, actually, Denise, you make a very great point there that I feel like most of the people in here who don't support Trump could agree to. It's one thing to hear Trump supporters say that they don't support social safety nets like Medicaid and food stamps, because, they could try to make an argument, but it'll inevitably be wrong. And maybe we hold some to stand against that because we have empathy. But it's just a totally different ballpark when you hear people literally defending child exploitation. It goes from like wrong, but like a lot of people think that, what can you do except for continue to try to prove them wrong, to just like straight to hell, obviously wrong, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Now, John, welcome into Sports Trump.
Yes, I do.
How old are you?
20 years old.
Great. There's a handful of people that I need to thank over on Venmo, but I'm going to give it a second. I'm going to go let you start your argument. So take it away. Why do you support Trump, Mr. John?
Big beautiful bill, tariffs, and immigration.
Big beautiful bill, bad.
Okay.
Very bad. Have we debated before, John?
I've debated other Democrats, but I'm not sure if I debated you.
I remember you.
When did we debate?
I think that we debated about the big beautiful bill about a month or two ago. Now, let me see if I remember your argument. So why do you support the big beautiful bill?
I think it helps the middle class American.
First question is, how do you feel about projections from the Center and Budget and Policy Priorities that tells us they're going to lose more than they'll gain?
And effective taxes. I think those estimates have been wrong before. And I think that if you look at the Tax and Jobs Act, according to The Hill, which is a left-leaning source, it said that the Tax and Jobs Act helped middle-class Americans the most. I can give you the article for that. So I would.
The most, I don't believe that. I know that it did help them. However, the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act is not the big beautiful bill, so I don't think that's an argument.
What's the big thing in the big beautiful bill? What's the biggest policy in the big beautiful bill? It's codifying the Tax and Jobs Act.
Right.
Obviously,
it's extending some parts of the TCJA, but is that all of the big beautiful bill?
That's the big part of the big beautiful bill. That's
okay,
like 90%.
but that big part is not the part that is hurting middle class Americans. The part that is hurting middle class Americans are the cuts in funding.
So was the Tax and Jobs Act the cuts in corporate tax rate?
You're muffling your mic, man.
Okay. So you're talking about the tax cuts? That's in the Tax and Jobs Act.
No.
If you're talking about getting rid of
what's hurting the middle class Americans, per the CBPP, is going to be cuts to Medicaid, cuts to SNAP, cuts to funding for clean energy credits, cuts to the DOE, cuts to intellectuals in the arts, etc. That's like what the CBPP is saying is going to hurt. Like the average American making $50,000 per year, for instance. Making premiums more expensive off of Medicaid, taking away $158 billion in funding for food stamps, defunding the IRA clean energy credits. So now clean energy production is going to go down by 72%, which is going to make energy cost an additional like $400 or $500 per household per year on average. Taking away free school student lunches from 18 million school students. It's the cuts that are hurting. Like the low-income and middle-income Americans, according to these institutions. Now, if we were just to isolate for the tax cuts in themselves, everybody in America gets a tax cut. Of course, now the more you make, the more of a proportionate tax cut you receive. However, when we don't just isolate for the tax cuts and we also include the cuts in funding, that's when people making out or beneath around $50,000 per year is going to be hurt.
So I have a question for you. Do you think if someone is able-bodied and they are above the age of 19, should they be on Medicare if they have the ability to work should they be able to work 80 hours a week to be required to get Medicaid?
Yeah,
Or should they just
I don't
be
think that there
able-
should be work requirements on Medicaid. No.
No. So if someone is able-bodied, completely healthy, they should just leech off the system and stay in their mom's basement and not work. You agree with that?
Well, I mean, I don't think that having access to state-funded Medicare, if you don't work but can work, is leeching off the system. And we obviously don't say this about everything that the government funds either. Like, for instance, would you say if there's somebody that can work but isn't working, but they're still using their car to drive on public roadways that are funded for by local, state, and federal taxes, that they're just leeching off the system? Like, no, that's completely outrageous. I would
That's
say...
why they have toll. Do you think that there shouldn't be tolling on some of the highways? That's why you have Easy Pass. That's why you have other modes of tolling people on public highways.
Okay, would you say that? Oh, well, there's I'd say like a vast majority of Americans don't drive on tollways every day. I know that I certainly don't. I know that many other people don't. So would you say that people
A
that
lot
can
of
work but aren't
Americans
working
drive on
in areas where they use roadways that aren't tolled, would you say that they specifically are just leeching off the system if they use those roadways if they can work but aren't working?
If they don't pay taxes, then yeah, I would say that they're leeching off the system.
Okay, so it's the same conclusion. So you formed the same conclusion that you formed in the instance of Medicaid. You're saying that if people can work but aren't working and are receiving Medicaid, therefore they're leeching off the system. And you just formed that same conclusion for people that can work but aren't working that are driving on public roadways. Therefore, they're leeching off the system. So like obviously this would like indicate that you'd like also hold to this similar conclusion that if you're driving on public roadways that don't include tolls and you can work but you aren't working, you shouldn't be able to drive on those public roadways, just like you shouldn't have access to Medicaid?
If you don't contribute to society or you don't contribute to taxes, no, you shouldn't be access to public use if you have the ability to contribute to the society.
So you'd agree with a work requirement on public roadways?
If you're able-bodied, yeah. I think if you're above the age of 19 and you don't contribute to, you're acting like you're laughing so hard.
Because
but
that's completely
in Europe-
everybody should be
Europe-
laughing at you right now.
in Europe-
Everybody should be laughing at you. Is this like all public facilities? Like
In Europe, almost-
like for instance, if
almost all-
somebody can work but isn't working, but has to like call 911 and have the cop show up to their house or something, like are they leeching off the system? Like should there be a work requirement in order to call 911?
No, because calling the cops is an emergency.
Okay,
It's not
so you say
leeching.
it's like necessary?
Yes, if it's life-saving, then yes.
Okay, like life-saving. Well, can healthcare be life-saving, Sean?
Medicaid is different than Medicare, is it not?
Medicaid is different than Medicare. One is for seniors, one is for low-income Americans.
Yeah, so they're not getting rid of life-saving treatment. They're getting rid of doctor appointments and other access to health officials.
Can I think that the empirics are clear. The less access to higher quality healthcare that people have, the shorter their lives are, right? Because although, right, everybody has access to emergency rooms for immediate life-saving care, right? In a lot of circumstances, there's like non-immediate life-saving care, like getting scanned for cancer, getting like adequate and proper cancer treatment. You know, you can't go to the ER to get a scan on like a dot on your skin, right? And that's the type of service that is going to be covered for a lot of low-income Americans under Medicaid that can be ultimately life-saving.
If it's a pre-existing condition, like, you know, if cancer is passed down genetically, they could have eligibility to go to a doctor's appointment.
So, I mean, now we're just kind of banking on possibilities. And also, a doctor's appointment, they could have eligibility under what? Because it's not Medicaid.
Medicaid, if it's a pre-existing condition, if their family had cancer and there's cancer within their family, they can have eligibility to get Medicaid for that.
Okay.
And then also, just because there's some
you
rare
could
cases-
qualify for Medicaid. So you think that individuals should have access to Medicaid if it might help save their life?
What can you repeat the question?
So you think that individuals should have access to Medicaid if it might help save their life?
If there's a strong possibility, yes.
Okay. Well, all healthcare might help save somebody's life.
Do you think everyone should get free healthcare?
Yeah, apparently you agree.
No, I think it's most people support these cuts. I think that eligibility, if you're above the age of 19, you can work. You should work 80 hours a week.
Well,
Why?
no, you just told us that you
What?
don't agree with that work requirement if that healthcare might help save your life.
I said if there's a strong possibility that it might save their life.
Well, I mean, who delineates
Anything
what a
can
strong
save-
possibility
anything
is?
can save your life. You
Well,
can say that.
who's supposed to like describe what a strong possibility is? How do we legislate on a quote unquote strong possibility?
Well, the government goes through each case of eligibility. You know, it's going to be the states that go through each case and they'll determine if you have a pre-existing condition or you have a disability.
So I have a question.
just
Can people without
work.
pre-existing conditions from family members have access, like develop cancer?
Yeah.
Well, what about them? Are they going to die?
How would they die?
Well, because you're denying them a health care that would be required in order to pay for screening services.
If they have strong possibility, they can go ask for eligibility for.
Well, I
those
mean, don't
screenings.
you need to see a doctor in order to determine if you're at a high risk of potential cancer? And that would be the
and you
healthcare
can
treatment that is now being denied to these low-income Americans?
You can contact the governmental official and you could say, "Hey, I believe that I have a preconditioned cancer, skin cell or whatever, that they would believe that they might have cancer."
No, you don't contact a government official. You go to the doctor and you pay for their services.
So you're saying that these niche examples, that people should be access to Medicaid, that I should pay taxes for other people to get health care, even though they contribute nothing to society.
I think that everybody should have access to healthcare. Yeah. I think that there should be policy to incentivize employment. I think that that's important, obviously. I just think that policy should be separated and coupled from healthcare policy. And I mean, like, we've seen why your train of thought here fails, right? Because it also tells the conclusion, oh, should I pay taxes to fund public roadways, even though there might be some people driving on those public roadways that contribute nothing to society? Oh, should I be, what about now? I mean, who's to say that, parents that apparently contribute nothing to society with young children should even have access to these benefits? Who cares that they have kids? They're still leeching off the government. Maybe we should take their food stamps away too. Or, I mean, what about like children in school that like have particular like mental or physical disabilities that would make it incredibly difficult. That would make it incredibly difficult for them to grow up and like contribute to society insofar as like working a job and paying taxes. Oh, well, they're gonna grow up to be a leech. We should deny them any funding to ensure that they're getting a proper education. See, it's just like this train of thought is incredibly regressive. It's villainous, and quite frankly, the empirical outcomes that we see of like countries and societies that have thought very similar to you of not fighting to protect low-income Americans, not fighting to make society better for everybody, ultimately makes society worse for everybody. Because what happens when you give low-income Americans health care, when you give them food stamps, when you give them these tools funded for and by the average American or disproportionately high-income Americans, is in they have less barriers to access better paying jobs, or they have a greater ability to work less hours per week, so then they could focus more on getting a degree or going to trade school. You're just removing barriers and making, mobilizing yourself up and scaling income brackets easier by providing these social safety nets to low-income Americans. On average, they serve a very grand ROI.
All right, can I respond to that? First of all, the claim about students with disabilities, they would be eligible because they have a disability.
Well, the question isn't are they eligible? The question is should they be eligible? And I think that
They
your
should be
other
eligible.
argument answered that.
I believe that they should be eligible. And I have a question for you. What you were talking about premiums earlier. What rose premiums? Why are premiums so high? That's due to the Affordable Care Act. And I assume that you supported the Affordable Care Act.
Oh, so you don't support increasing premiums?
No. Obama got rid of the provider payment payment. Can't speak right now. A little nervous. But provider payment payment. I can't speak again. I'm going to give up on that. But he got rid of that, and that rose prices.
Right.
For,
So would you say because the ACA increased premiums that you would never have supported that bill?
It had to make cuts on Medicaid. I think the bill was bad. I think if you look at...
But I just want to clarify, would you still support the big, beautiful bill that increased premiums even more than the ACA?
If there's more tax money or more income to middle-class Americans, yes, I would support it. If more middle-class Americans had higher purchasing power, I would support it.
Oh, okay. Well, I gave you the study from the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities that indicates they won't. And then here's an article published on NPR titled, ACA Health Insurance Will Cost the Average Person 75% More Next Year. Research shows demonstrating how the $900 billion cuts to Medicaid inside of the big, beautiful bill are expected to spike premiums. So all of a sudden, the argument that you've been making here about how bad the ACA is and how bad increasing premiums is seems to be mirrored, in the reality inside of that big, beautiful bill. Get pushed.
Before they passed the big, beautiful bill, What did they pass to help rural hospitals out? That would help pay for medical care for people. They passed a $50 billion rural hospital.
You're muffling your mic.
Let me see. You hear me better?
Why are you not responding to what I said? Did you get pushed?
No, because the NPR study's wrong.
It's wrong? Yeah, bro, trust me, bro. Why do you think it's wrong?
Because the NPR is not making its own study. It's probably taking it from the CBO. And the CBO claimed in 2017 that the Tax and Jobs Act would hurt middle class Americans. And we saw with IRS data
Keyword
that was
probably.
wrong.
Keyword probably, right?
I would bet you money that it's wrong.
Okay,
I guarantee.
how much?
I will bet you $100 that premiums will not raise by 70%.
Oh no, you're gonna bet me $100 that this report's coming from the CBO. How much money do you want to bet there?
I don't. If it's not coming from the CBO and it's just coming from NPR, that's even worse.
Okay, are CBO and NPR the only people that research this shit? What?
No.
No? Okay, yeah,
there's
because
other
it's coming
people
from
that
the
research
Center on Budget and Policy Priorities. This was updated 2 days ago, published under the title, Administration's ACA Marketplace Rule Will Rise Healthcare Costs for Millions of Families. Get pushed!
Is it 70%? How much is it?
Yeah, 70%. Get
70.
pushed!
So costs are going to rise by almost double, you're saying?
Yeah,
Premiums are going to rise by almost double.
Well, actually, no.
How much you want to bet?
Double would be 200%. Please understand stats. Get pushed.
So you're saying it's going to rise, but I don't think it's going to rise by 70%. How much you want to bet? How much you want to bet it's going to rise in 70? I can give you articles what they were saying in 2017 about.
Could you give me like any other sources? Could you give me any other sources that would like contradict what? No. What contradict? No, dude. Before you give a source, you have to let me finish my question so you understand what I want you to give me a source for. Is that fair?
Okay.
Jesus Christ. Holy crap. Give me another source that indicate that what the CBPP saying here about increases in healthcare premiums is wrong.
All right. I'll go look it up right now.
Get pushed.
Also, wait, I have another question for you. Do you think illegal immigrants should be required to have Medicare?
No. Source. While you're looking for that source, John, thank you so much for the $100 super chat over on YouTube. I appreciate you for the love, John. And we can all please show some love to John down below in that comment section for the $100. That would be awesome. Thank you, John. John said, I love watching you, Dean. Can you debate Charlie Kirk again? Dude, I would love to sit down with Kirk. He's a little scared of me, but I would love it, man. He also says, who do you think is the best candidate for the Democrat in 2028 and why? Right now, so this is my theory. I think it's inevitably going to be Harris again. I really do. I think she's going to come out on top just because of support inside of the party. I really do. I really do think that'll end up happening. I mean, dude, she was able to keep like a pretty tight margin against Trump, who's been in politics for like 10 years. After she started and launched a campaign that lasted 107 days. So I think she will end up being the strongest candidate, regardless if you like it or not. Like, I think that's going to end up being, she said she's not running for president? I don't know. I haven't seen her say that. Anyways, if she does run, I think she'll end up like winning the primary and whatnot. Just like a preemptive thought, though. I don't know. As well as Amy, thank you for the $20 over on Venmo saying get pushed. Dude, whatever happened to that guy? We talked to him once. He's never been back. I would love to chat with that guy again. Thank you for the love, Amy. Let's show some love to Amy down below. Let's get 200 Amy W's. As well as Libby 5 minutes ago with the $15 over on Venmo saying, how was I supposed to know I had a tangle of blood vessels in my brain since birth that could have killed me if I didn't see a doctor? Right? People need to see doctors. Absolutely, Libby. As well as Megan with the $5. Thank you so much for the love. Saying, I also wish people understood how preventative care is extremely necessary, not only to the individual, but also to the community and economy. Yup, absolutely. Keeps people working, which keeps the economy growing. Isn't that crazy? Rebecca with a $25 over on Venmo from 11 minutes ago. By the way, we're going to go to load up that next guest because I guess he left. Thank you. Rebecca says, thank you for speaking about Gaza. My friend's family is starving and one was recently shot by an IDF soldier who can no longer walk. She has a GoFundMe and any exposure to help her would and my family would be appreciated. Rebecca, please join my Discord and send that to the moderators. They'll be able to send that to me in our chat. And we have like a charity channel in the Discord. I'd love to make sure that reaches where it's supposed to go, Rebecca. And then Michelle, 13 minutes ago with the $20 over on Venmo. Michelle says, great debates in education. I'm happy that you're enjoying the stream, Michelle. Everybody, show some love to Michelle down below. Then one more here. Patricia, 30 minutes ago with the $50 over on Venmo. Patricia, that is so damn kind of you. Holy crap. Patricia says, keep up the great work. Hopefully today you will continue to change some minds. I think that there's a lot of minds changed just in the viewers of this stream on a daily basis. And, you know, I'm hoping that there'll be more today. Patricia, that is incredibly kind of you. That is so much money. I just want to say thank you real quick to everybody that has donated so far today. You guys are incredibly, incredibly kind. Huge W for all of the donors. Thank you guys so much. Now, welcome in W service. Do you support Trump?
I just had a quick question.
Okay, if you don't support Trump, I'm going to kick you. Let's go to put the rules up on screen just so everybody knows what they are. Only join if you're 18 plus, American, Mac, and ready to debate. Yippee! Now we're going to go ahead and get that next guest up in here. While we're loaded on that next guest up in here, we'll say hi to Cody real quick. Let's go to see what that next guest has to say. Here are Cody. How are we doing today?
Doing good, bro. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. I don't want to debate you again, Cody. I feel like we've had a fair amount of conversation. I just want to say hi, see how you are.
Listen, I don't want debate. I want to debate on one thing, on Section 8 housing.
On Section
just real
8
quick.
housing? Well, I mean,
listen, I'm
not gonna lie. I've never done any research into Section 8 housing specifically, but I'm pretty sure it's a good idea to have affordable housing for low-income Americans.
Okay, listen, it is, but listen, I work maintenance. Okay, and when you say about the big bill of the bill, okay, let's just say this. Okay, you say 3 million people is going to be hurt by it, right?
3 million people are going to be cut off of food stamps. Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So let me tell you something about this housing that I do maintenance for. And I'm not going to say where. I'm not going to say the location, but I'm going to tell you this: there is literally women and men who have 8 different children together, and they're claiming all this stuff, all this for working American citizens, working like me and you, anybody else who pays taxes.
Yeah, as they should. They definitely should. They have 8 kids
but
to
listen,
care
they're
for.
not paying taxes. They're having 8 children in these Section 8 housings, and what they're doing is their boyfriends are coming in and doing dealings. Now I'm not going to say with what, and they're having 8 children with them, but then at the end of the year having a $12,000-$15,000 tax check.
Listen,
it's
Cody.
not right.
Listen, Cody. Listen, you could argue listen. Just hear me out.
Yeah.
You could argue that it's irresponsible to have 8 children as a low-income family. Okay, but I think that is a little bit more appropriate than arguing that when they do have 8 children, they shouldn't be receiving benefits to make sure those children stay alive. Right? I think those two things are very different. 8 kids, I think, would be a very, very, very significant strain on the average family, even on upper middle class families. 8 kids is a lot. Holy shit, right? But having 8 kids is a low income family. If they didn't have support from the governments, those children would starve.
I understand, and I don't want the children to starve. But what I'm saying is, when you go through and you see this every day with not just one woman, or not just when you see it with 20 or 30 different women, or 20 or 30 different men, and then you say, okay, I'm working my butt off here to pay these taxes just so they can draw these
what
benefits.
about, I got an idea. Less of the money that you pay in taxes would go for the children of low income families.
Exactly.
Given that we were to support free abortions for low income women. Oh,
okay. Well,
yeah. Think about it. Did you know that the main reason why women get abortions is because of financial instability, and the main cause of poverty of women is childbirth? But let's not forget that abortion costs money. Like in America, each procedure on average costs around $500, right? So if you're already a low-income woman and you're pregnant, you don't have $500 to spend on that procedure. What are you going to do? You're going to have that kid and you're going to do your best to raise them, right? So maybe, maybe, if we supported free access to abortion for low-income women, you'd save more money over the long term.
Okay, Nardine, I'll respect what you said right there, but I'll respect what I'm going to say. Maybe just keep your leg closed, and we don't have to go through that. So, come on now.
Maybe you just keep your fucking mouth closed. Have a good one, Cody. Welcome in, DJR. Do you support Trump? Okay, DJ is not here. We're going to move on to the next guest. Everyone just give us a minute, y'all. Going to put a mag with your age down below in the chat. We'll get you loaded in, guys. Do be patient here. Let's go to get that next guest loaded up in. Right now, quite frankly, make sure you're following the rules if you're in the queue. American adult that supports Trump. Megan, thank you so much for the $20 over on PayPal. Megan says, you're cracking me up saying get pushed, new catchphrase. I know, it's kind of fun, right? Like, I'm kind of enjoying it. I see the allure. I see why. But thank you for the $20, Megan. Yo, can we have everybody show some love to Megan down below in the chat? It'd mean a lot to me, especially, while we're loading up that next guest. Everyone just give us a minute. So thank you, Megan. Also, Justin, thank you for another $25 over on PayPal. Justin says, people like this guest will be the reason why my mom loses her health insurance. Her body isn't strong enough to go back to work, but she's forced to. Yeah, also the legislation surrounding who can qualify for disability and how long you have to be unemployed in the first place is absolute dog shit. So it's an absolute mess. I agree, Justin. I'm sorry to hear that. Thank you for the $25. Guys, show some love to Justin. Guys, please only hop in that queue if you're an American adult that supports Trump that wants to come up here and have a debate. Please, 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 please. I beg y'all to follow the rules. Let's go to get that next guest, another John, loading up in, as well as Danielle. Danielle, it's so good to see you. Thank you so much for being here again. Danielle is always in the stream with us. Dude, I love Danielle. Danielle, thank you for the $50 donation over on PayPal. Thank you so much, Danielle, guys. Show some love to Danielle down below for the $50. Danielle says, I just spent a lovely week out of the country. If I have to be back in America, I'm glad I get to listen to you. Love you. Thank you for all that you do. And yes, I'll still reach out to you. Thank you, Danielle. You were always here. We love you, and I hope that your vacation was awesome. Show some love to Danielle, everybody. And then one more, Apache. Thank you for the $20 over on Super Chat. Apache said, Dean, I just found your channel, and I think you were doing an outstanding job. Thank you. Well, thank you, Apache. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you for the love. Now, John 2.0, what's up? You support the Orange Menace, bro?
No.
Base? Okay, we're gonna put the rules back up on screen. Everybody on TikTok, woo! Direct your attention to the middle of the phone screen right now. Quite frankly, everybody look at it goodly, look at it bigly. Take a big look at the middle of the phone screen. If you're trying to join the live, be at least 18. Wow. Be American. Okay. Be MAGA. Holy shit. And be ready to debate. If these are the rules that you're following before you hop in the queue, then we won't do this thing where it takes us like 20 minutes to get a guest up here. You know what I mean? If like everybody's following these rules, we could just have a constant flow of debates for 4 hours and everybody's happy, especially myself. Welcome in, Nickies. Do you support Trump? No, they left. We're going to move on. See, they weren't following the rules, everybody. That's what happens. Here we go, guys. Moving on. All right. Let's see who the next guest is. We got Marcus. Marcus, what's going on? Do you support Trump?
Oh, yes, sir. What's up, brother?
Yeah, not too much. Marcus, how old are you?
19.
What year are you born in?
2006, April 8th.
Okay, that would make you 19. You sound pretty unsure about it, but you gave the right date, so I'll let it slide. Now, Mr. Marcus, why the hell do you support Trump as president? That MFer, okay, is the worst president of either of our lifetimes. Super bad for the country, the people in it, the world as a whole. Not to mention he's a bad guy himself. I just don't get it, bro. But hopefully you'll be able to explain it for me. Take it away.
Well, I think Trump, I think he just cares about the country. I feel like he's a businessman. He knows what he's doing. He cares for the people of America. As you can see, what he's done and what he's doing for us it's going well.
Okay.
Time will tell how good he's doing.
So you just said it's going well. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to give you some stats about how the American economy has been moving, right? The direction it's been heading in for the last 180 days. And then after each of these stats, I'm going to repeat what you just said there, going well. And we're going to see what MAGA classifies as well. So first stat, 52% of S&P 500 companies reported lower profit margins in the second quarter of this year. It's going well. Second stat, long-term unemployment, which has been unemployed for 27 weeks plus, has now rose to 1.8 million, the highest it's been excluding the pandemic since 2018. Going well. Job growth has sharply slowed. Last month, we only added 73,000 jobs to the economy, which was significantly underwhelming and did not meet our expectations, even our most conservative ones. Going well. And he, in fact, fired the head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics because she even reported that fact. Going well, okay? Inflation has now rose 2.6% over the past year, right? Accelerating since April. Going well. If you look at the inflation statistics of grocery prices, Every single commodity you buy in the grocery stores become more expensive out of
Wait, that's not
iceberg
true, though.
lettuce and lemons. Funny enough,
That's
going
not
well.
true though. That's not true though. Wait, so tell me how eggs have gone down. Tell me how gas has gone down. Explain that.
Okay, funny enough.
Don't get me wrong. Like,
Funny
I
enough,
honestly,
eggs-
no. Let me just say something real quick.
Okay, you got it.
Honestly, like, I'm no Charlie Kirk. I don't know all the facts and statistics. Like, you have me beat, honestly. Like, in the facts and statistics, I genuinely don't know. But all I'm gonna say is, like, what he's doing is for longer term, like tariffs and all that stuff. That's long term investments and stuff. So all he's doing is he's making our country. It's gonna go great. It is going great, but he's in it for the long term. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Time will tell.
So you just
Time will
brought
tell.
up, you brought up the price of eggs. Funny enough, the price of eggs has gone up. Yeah. So in January of this year, eggs cost on average $2.70. Today, they cost on average $3.70. If you want to know what my source is, this is coming from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, average retail food and energy prices, U.S. City average and West region. So we see that you're wrong. Wow.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I honestly, I wish you the best.
Wait, why? Don't leave.
You know, I think he says it very well, and I think honestly, a lot of stuff that he says, I just agree with because he knows better than me. I'm not, sitting on a computer looking up statistics right now, but
You
I
literally
think
asked
that
me for those
he
statistics, so I
genuinely
gave them to
cares-
you. Don't stigmatize
he-
that.
He cares for the country. He cares for what we want, and I think he's a God-fearing man. I mean, you see, Kamala Harris is so like against God and all this kind of stuff, and it's honestly sad how people defend this today. It
I have a
honestly is
question.
just
I have a question.
vexing.
If Kamala Harris raped a man, if Kamala Harris hit on children, if Kamala Harris was in the Epstein files, and Kamala Harris said that she never had to ask God for forgiveness for anything she's ever done after she did all these things, would you say she's more pro-God or more anti-God than she already is?
So I actually saw a very good TikTok on this.
Can you answer?
If Trump was in the Epstein files, then why wouldn't have Biden leaked them? That would have been such a benefit to what to
I'll happily tell
him.
you. I'll happily tell you after you answer my question.
Okay.
Do you need me to ask it again?
Yep.
We're just gonna go to replay it from the YouTube stream.
It
I have a
honestly
question.
is just
I have a question.
vexing.
If Kamala Harris raped a man, if Kamala Harris hit on children, if Kamala Harris was in the Epstein files, and Kamala Harris said that she never had to ask God for forgiveness for anything she's ever done after she did all these things, would you say she's more pro-God or more anti-God than she already is?
Well, I don't understand how I don't understand what you're asking first, and I literally she said you're at the wrong rally when someone said
You're not
the God
You're still not answering the question. Now, if you don't understand the question, ask for clarification.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Ask for. Need help clarifying what you're asking.
Okay. What part of the question do you need to be clarified?
What do you like? Are you asking who's the most right? Who's more righteous, Kamala Harris or Trump? Is that what you're asking, or are you,
No.
what are you saying?
I'll just repeat. I'll just replay what I said.
It
I have a
honestly
question.
is just.
I have a question.
Vexing.
If Kamala Harris raped a man, if Kamala Harris hit on children, if Kamala Harris was in the Epstein files, and Kamala Harris said that she never had to ask God for forgiveness for anything she's ever done after she did all these things, would you say she's more pro-God or more anti-God than she already is? So all that I'm asking you is right now you're saying that she's pretty anti-God. I'm asking you, if she did all these things that I just asked you in that question, would she be even more anti-God than she already is?
I still don't understand what you're saying, but I don't like the whole thing.
Okay,
like,
let me find.
what are you saying? Are you saying that Trump
No, this has nothing. This has nothing to do with Trump. Just a very simple question. I'll find another way to ask it. Okay, take Kamala Harris. You think she's anti-God. You made that clear. Okay. So here's a scale of Jesus. Okay, Jesus is over here at the tip of my fingers. To Satan. Yep. Satan is going to be my weenus. Okay. Jesus, tip of fingers. Satan, weenus. Okay, do you get it? This is a scale. And we're going to have people sliding along this scale to see who they're closer to. Closer to Satan on the weenus or closer to Jesus on the tip, the tip of the fingers. So let's put Kamala Harris right there. Pretty close to Satan on the weenus, right? Because you said she's anti-God. My question is, if on top of everything that she's ever done in her life that has led you to the conclusion that she's anti-God, she's also raped a man, hit on kids, sexualized her own daughter, and took money from poor people, took money from poor people and gave it to rich people, and was in the Epstein files, and after doing all of these things, said that she's never had to ask God for forgiveness for anything that she's ever done, would she move on the sliding scale of Jesus to Satan closer to Satan? Would she move on this sliding scale from Jesus to Satan closer to Jesus? Or would she just remain where she already was in the first place?
Well, I know exactly what you're trying to do. You're going to what you want me to say is Satan, and then you're going to be like, oh, well, this is Trump, whatever.
No,
This is not even true.
No, this has nothing to do with Trump. Just tell me with a question about Kamala Harris. Where would she be? Would she stay at the same point? Or slide closer to Satan on the weenus? Or slide closer to Jesus on the tip of my fingers? Which one?
Weenus.
Oh, we should get closer to the weenus. So she'd be even more anti-God than she already was. Well, here's the zinger. You basically just told us that Kamala Harris is more pro-God than Trump because everything I just described and more is something that Trump has done. Meaning he's closer to Satan on the weenus. This is exactly what
I just said, and that's not even true. I literally saw another valid TikTok on this. Like Trump, right?
Okay, you just hit a big lag spike. I'm gonna need you to repeat everything you just said.
About what?
Everything. You just hit a big lag spike.
Oh, I'm
no, he's leaving.
TikTok. And it was talking about how Trump's a billionaire, right? He has so much businesses. He's very like high quality man, right? So you think he needs to rape men rape women?
Well, say grape. Say grape. Say grape.
You think he needs to grape these people? Like that's not even true. You like, and me and you don't understand this because we're not on that level. He can get with any chick that he wants. He can get with any 10 out of 10 woman because that's what they want. They want to be taken care of as a billionaire. They want to, all this kind of stuff. People saying that Trump did this, it's just a lie. Like it's just not even a fair statement.
First and foremost, there is not a single woman watching this live, right, that would get with. Sorry, that was. Let me get the right picture here. Give us a yeah. There's not a single woman watching the live that would get with that. Right. There's just simply not a single woman watching, so it's not necessarily true. Now, allow me to finish, sir. Right, just the argument saying that he has money, therefore he would never do this to somebody. Damn, bro, he left. I was about to get him too, because check this out. His argument was because he has money, he would never do this, even though a court found that he did this. Epstein was also a billionaire. Diddy was also a billionaire. So guess what? His argument doesn't only indicate that Trump's an innocent man. It tells us that Epstein and Diddy are too. Sounds like he'd go out to lunch with Trump, Epstein, and Diddy and have a really good time with them since they're all just so high-value men that have never done anything wrong in his life that he wants to learn from. That's the conclusion of his argument. Now, of course, he left, so we're going to go to get that next guest loaded up into the box. If you're in that queue, make sure that you're following the rules, y'all. Let's go and see who's next right now. Melvin! Let's go and get Melvin up in here. We also have a couple more people to thank for their donations. I actually really appreciate you guys for all the love today. You guys have been so kind. Cass, 13 minutes ago with the $4, saying, can I say hi to Keith?
Hey, Dean, how are you?
Dude, I'm doing great. How you doing, Melvin?
I'm doing good.
Good.
First of all, I'm not like other people. I want to have a friendly debate with you because I'm not going to yell at you or anything. I love debating topics, and yes, I'm a Trump supporter.
Hella based, Marvin. Not the Trump part, though. That's hella not based, but the respectful conversation part was hella based.
Do you believe in abortion?
Do I believe in it? Like, do I pray to it like a god? Do I think it exists, or do I think it's okay?
No, do you believe abortion is right?
Well, yes, I love it so much, quite frankly. Now, real quick before we hop into that debate, I'm going to thank just 4 people here really, really quickly. First and foremost,
go ahead.
Katie, thank you for the $5 over on Venmo. Thank you, Katie Nation, with the $5 as well. Show some love to Katie Nation down below. And then I got to give another big thank you to Mr. Justin with another $25. Justin, you've been showing up and showing out recently. Thank you, man. Show some love to Justin down below. Justin says, people like that last guest will be the reason. Oh, actually, I already read that. Sorry, Justin. I guess you get 2 big W's spamming in the chat. Thank you. Thank you. I do mean it. And then Megan, thank you for the $20. I actually already thanked that one too. I'm losing it today. What the hell's going on with Dean, right? Oh, here we go. This Megan. Another Megan. Thank you for the $15 over on PayPal. I appreciate you for that love, guys. Show some love to Megan down below. That is Meghan. They say, thank you for not entertaining to keep your legs closed. Love you, Dean. Well, I mean, actually, I have a really good response to that argument. I just didn't want to give it to Cody because he's just like, Cody, right? So we didn't entertain that coming from Cody. I do appreciate you guys so much for the love. And then 2 people to thank over on YouTube Super Chat here, super quick. Laura, thank you for the $10. Then Clara, thank you for the $20 over on YouTube Super Chat. Clara says, love watching you. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Clara. And then Disgusted Veteran with the $20 as well. You guys have been so kind today. Show some love to all of our donors while we hop into this next debate with Mr. Melvin. Mr. Melvin, mic is yours. Take it away. Why do you support Trump?
Okay, so I support Trump because he got rid of abortion. And let me ask you this question. When a sperm and an egg fuse, what do you call that?
A precious baby.
Okay, what? Okay. So you call that a zygote, right? And a zygote is a clump of cells. And in biology terms, what is a cell? It is a living organism. Is that correct?
Well, it's not a clump of cells. It is a singular cellular organism, and yes.
So it's a singular cell, so it's still a living organism. So essentially, you are committing murder if you abort that baby because it is still a living organism. Am I not correct?
Are all cells living organisms?
All cells are living organisms. Yes.
So you think it's murder to like brush your teeth and kill like the cellular bacteria on your plaque?
Well, yeah, because bacteria need to live too.
Do you brush your teeth?
Yes, I do actually.
So you're like a fucking serial killer.
I mean, if you want to call it that.
Should brushing your teeth be illegal for the same reason that you think getting an abortion should be illegal?
No.
So why should it be legal to commit the mass genocide of 400 trillion cellular life forms on your teeth, but it should be illegal to kill a zygote?
Because you're killing another human being.
Okay, it's about the humanity.
That's murder.
So it's murder to kill a human?
Yes.
Okay, I don't think it's always murder to kill a human.
You don't think it's always murder to kill a human?
No. Self-defense, 1. Like zygotes, 2. Brain dead patients, 3. Fetuses, 4. I think that murder is going to be delineated off of some standard other than the fact that we're human beings.
Okay, so if I tell you that 8 million babies are being aborted each year, then what does that tell you about, then that's an astounding fact. Because 8 million babies per year are being aborted, and I think, it's, I think that's the right thing to do because I'm not saying women should be raped. No, I don't agree with that at all. Or rape or incest, no, I don't agree with that at all. That's one thing I don't agree with. I'll be clear on that. But one thing I do know is a baby is a gift from God. No matter how you look at it. No matter if it was a rape or incest. And there have been some women who have had children out of rape incidences and say that, this is a gift from God. Do you agree with that or not?
If rape and the product of rape was a gift from God, count me out from religion.
Okay, explain.
I think that one is pretty self-intuitive. If rape and the product of rape that was produced right after 9 months of suffering and physical trauma and mental trauma was a gift from our creator, that creator sounds pretty evil to me. You know, like imagine you got your mother a bear trap for Christmas that you put her foot in, and then you said, "That's my gift to you, Mom." Would you be an evil son or a good son?
I'll be an evil son.
So if God, right, is giving women the gift of getting raped and then enduring physical pain, physical trauma, and mental trauma for the next 9 months and onwards, and that was his gift to them, would he be an evil God or a good God?
Well, you gotta also look at it too. It's the mindset of the woman. If she believes that the product of rape, that her child is a gift from God, then would you also agree with the woman that her mindset is that is a gift from God?
So I don't think whatever, like, I don't think that we could just think things and make them true. So even if there were to be a victim of rape that ended up having that child and said that child was a gift from God, I would absolutely sympathize with that woman. However, ultimately, she would be wrong.
Okay, I see your point. Yeah, I see your point.
So do you think that victims of rape should be able to access abortion?
If they choose to keep the baby, then they should be able to keep the baby. But in reality, I think that the mental trauma is enough to where they should get not a late-term abortion, but an early-term abortion. Do you know what I mean? Late-term abortion meaning the baby already has a heartbeat. So past 6 weeks, the baby already has a heartbeat. Okay, so they should not get...
Pregnancy tests, like for the most part, can't even detect pregnancy until 7 to 8 weeks after the heartbeat. So how would she know to get an abortion if, like, for the most part, she can't even detect, a pregnancy?
Right.
Because like most pregnancies. Now I'm not going to be like the most well-educated person on this subject. Most pregnancy tests would test for pregnancy via an imbalance or supply of like particular hormones inside of like their body. You could either find this in like urine, blood, etc. And like the particular levels of HCG, I think it's called, that are like required to populate on a test, right? Aren't that high until like 7 to 8 weeks, right? Now you're saying that you're not okay with the heartbeat, not okay with the abortion once the heartbeat is present. Why is that? Because it's a human life before the heartbeat. So why are you only okay with? Why are you not okay with killing it once that human life has a heartbeat?
Well, it's you just made me contradict myself. I see what you just did.
All right, and if you're going to sit over here and you're going to say, well, I mean, I value all human lives, but I'm going to make like an unclear distinction at the heartbeat, and I'm going to say, well, at that point, I think that abortion becomes murder and abortion becomes wrong. Well, why can't I just say something like, well, I also value all human lives just like you do, but I'm going to like make an unclear distinction at like 25 weeks because of like an emergence to deploy sentience. At that point, abortion becomes wrong, meaning that individuals should be able to access elective abortions prior to that point, meaning that I'm pro-choice, right? So seemingly, like your logic would entail like an equally adjacent pro-choice position that we could just draw
I see your point.
a baseless distinction at any point. Or even like birth. I could say that, magically this human life becomes valuable at birth, right? So therefore it's not valuable before birth and you could kill it whenever.
Right. I see your point.
All right, Melvin, was there anything else that you wanted to go over?
No, sir. Thank you so much for this debate. I really appreciate what you do. You're an independent journalist. You guys don't get enough credit, and, you do your research, and I'm proud of this debate.
You have a good one, Melvin. Melvin seemed like a nice guy, just like very misled there. Melvin, I hope that, you watch my streams. I think that'd be very meaningful. You know, sounds like a very misguided, nice guy. You know, just definitely, man, you need to fix those beliefs because those beliefs are bad, dude. And I hope that you're able to learn and grow and become a better person. Now, welcome in, Luke. Do you support Trump?
Yeah, kinda.
All right, Luke, how old are you?
I'm 18.
Phenomenal, Mr. Luke. Quickly before we hop into the debate, let's go and see if I have any new donations to think quickly. I sure do. Toby, thank you for the $3 over on PayPal. Appreciate you so much for the love, as well as Anonymous. Thank you for the $100 over on PayPal. That is incredibly kind. Dude, thank you. Everybody show some love to Anon down below. They say thank you for supporting gay rights. I appreciate you, Anon. Everybody show some love to Anon down below. Y'all show some love to Anon down below. It means the absolute world to me. Thank you. That is so much money. Jesus Christ, I do not deserve that. Then Gabrielle with a $10 over on YouTube Super Chat saying, big fan here, Dean. Always watching the lives, but one thing, you never cover Gaza. I mean, I get the whole thing is debating MAGA, but even us Democrats support the genocide. So, I mean, first of all, who's we? It's not us. I agree it's some Democrats, but not me as a Democrat, and definitely not a handful of other individuals as a Democrat. But I mean, we do cover Gaza when it comes up in debate. You know, I am pro-Palestine. I feel like that's very known. And I mean, I think that this was the day before yesterday. I had around a 45-minute debate with somebody about why they're pro-Israel. And yeah, I mean, I'll continue to do that. I do agree that Gaza needs coverage. I mean, right now what's going on in Gaza is absolutely fucking atrocious, dude. Children are starving to death. And I mean, I was talking about that on live yesterday. And if you've been around for like around 30 to 40 minutes, you would have heard Jay send a donation earlier talking about how I was referencing the children starving to death and how just incredibly sad it is, and how people need to do more, especially, you know, the leaders of our countries completely. Now, Luke, go ahead and take the mic away. Why do you support Trump?
So honestly, I'm not super like into politics at all. Like I don't really care that much. I feel very blessed and privileged that I come from a household where my dad is the only one working and he supplies for us. So a lot of the you know, like policies and things that either Kamala Harris or Biden or Trump would have been doing wouldn't have affected me as much. So I guess I don't really have much of an opinion on either. To be honest, I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, Luke. I mean, I think the best place for you to be is just watching the live then, man. You know, I mean, I want to make it clear, you know, like the people that I want to debate are individuals like with an opinion that I could hopefully change the mind of. And then, you know, like the purpose of doing these conversations live and like not just on some Discord channel with just me and them is so other people can listen into the conversations and take something away from it. So that's very meaningful, and I hope that you do stick around, Luke. Welcome in, Harry. Do you support Trump? Harry's not here. We're going to go ahead and move on to the next guest right now. Guys, go ahead and follow those rules. If you're trying to join, make sure that you're an American adult that supports Trump. Quite frankly, let's go and get that next guest loaded in. We got Mr. Caleb tuning in. And Nicholas, thank you so much for the $25 over on Venmo. I appreciate you so much for the love. Thank you so much, Nicholas. I really appreciate you so much. Yeah, I see your statement there, Nicholas. Thank you for the $25. As well as Jazz, thank you for the 10. By the way, Caleb, age?
I only came here to say I love you, Dean.
I appreciate you for the love. Moving on, here we go. By the way, if you're watching and you want to support me, you want to support the work that we do here, you want to help keep the studio up and running for 4 hours every single day, 7 days a week, you can find my Venmo and my PayPal in the link tree in my bio on TikTok. I get 100% of all of the proceeds over on those platforms. They go straight to me, as well as you'll get a notification on the top of this phone where I can see your name and amount and any and all messages. Same thing goes for the YouTube stream. My Venmo and PayPal can be found in the pin message in the chat. But now let's go ahead and focus on getting the next guest up here, guys. Once again, we are just looking for Trump supporters to come up here and give me a piece of your mind. You know, I want an older Trump supporter. I feel like we've been getting a lot of younger people, a lot of 18-year-olds, a lot of 19-year-olds, but not a lot of like middle-aged Trump supporters that are going to come up here and give me a piece of their mind. So that's what we're going to try to do. Welcome in, Dalton. Do you support Trump? Nope, Dalton's not here. Goodbye, Mr. Dalton. Take care. In the meantime, yo, double tap on that phone screen. Let's get up to 3 million likes. And yo, like I said, look at that, a notification. Jenny, thank you so much for the $10 over on Venmo. Jenny, that is kind of you. That is spelled Jeni. Jenny says, have a great night. Dude, so do you, Jenny. I appreciate you for the love. Same thing with Cass. Thank you for the $1 on Venmo, saying that abortion is healthcare. Absolutely, Cass. Couldn't agree with you more. Thank you, Jenny and Cass. You guys are awesome. Now let's try to get that next guest loaded up into the box right now. All right, what's going on? Do you support Trump? No, I guess they don't. Okay, yo, Connor Castle sent you an invite. Kristen sent you an invite. Looks like we got Connor in. Hey, Connor.
What's good? Can you hear me?
I sure can. Do you support Trump?
Somewhat. It depends. Here's the thing with mine is both. I feel like when both candidacies were running, I feel like it was both were shitty, if that makes sense. Like there was cons to both.
Yeah, there's definitely cons to both. I could agree, but overall, do you think that Trump is doing a good job?
So far, yes.
Okay. Oh, so far? Wow. Okay, why?
Just because I feel like as I work in some of the jobs that immigrants are coming to take over, my jobs start to get less and less as I can't make as much money. And I don't feel like if it's right that you have illegal immigrants that jump over the border and just come here willingly without going through the proper documentation process to do it. So that's the big thing with me. I'm okay with them being here is more the fact of you taking the right steps and process to do it.
Right. So first and foremost, I think that MAGA needs to get their priorities straight because the first argument about undocumented immigrants was that, oh, like they suck. They take money from our government. They're leeches. They're freeloaders. But then when you figure out that undocumented immigrants actually have a higher participation rate in the labor force than citizens, well, then all of a sudden they're taking over our jobs. They're stealing all the jobs.
Well, yeah, and from that
getting
point,
paid,
from
contributing
that point,
to the GDP
I have
and
that
paying
type of
taxes.
job. So like, it's not like I'm saying that as in like I'd work lawn care. I work like power washing. I do like blue collar jobs. So that's where I'm coming from. It's not like I'm sitting at an office desk saying they're taking my job when they're really not. When they actually are in this scenario.
Here's what I'll say. So I think like one negative impact of undocumented immigrants in the workforce is going to be the fact that they're more likely and more willing to accept lower wages because they have less bargaining power against their employer and their employer exploits them. This can have negative effects on some industries, like construction, for instance. 1 out of every 7 undocumented immigrants is a construction worker, and I can acknowledge that. Now, I think the root of the problem here isn't the immigrant that's trying to work to provide for them and their family. I think it's the employer who's willing to exploit the fact they have less bargaining power and pay them less.
Oh yeah, I think that that also goes
and I
into
think
it,
that
'cause
the
they're not
solution
giving people 1099s. They're not giving.
And I think that the solution here is to just simply give undocumented immigrants a pathway to residency or citizenship, so they could be a resident or they can be a citizen, and then they'll have more bargaining power, the same amount of bargaining power as you. And this will fix the industries in which they've been working in that have decreased like average wages. Well, you just left. Why do you leave when you get a solution to the problem? You know, like you're telling me this problem has like personally impacted your life. You're telling me that you've got paid less because of this. You're telling me that you've got less work because of this. Then I give a solution to the problem. And instead of like turning around and saying, hey, Dean, you're right, I'm going to start advocating for this in my local community to hopefully get more people to agree so we could get this policy so I could have a better life. He just leaves, acts like the conversation never happened, and continues on with his day saying, I support Trump. So annoying. Welcome in, Harry. Do you support Trump?
Yes.
Take that profile picture out of your, take that guitar out of your profile picture, your poser. Okay? No way a Trump supporter even knows what an A minor is.
Do you not like my picture now?
Oh, whoa. What time is it?
6:11. No, wait. It's 6:15.
Okay, what state are you in?
New York.
New York? Okay. Sounds like you have a little bit of a echo, but we'll work with it. Why do you support Trump, Harry?
I just
Oh,
suppose...
actually, how old are you?
I am 19, 2nd of May 2006.
Okay, you just have O in your name. A little bit confusing. Why do you support Trump?
I suppose it's because like he's making the border wall more secure and like he's doing a good job. Like I kind of support him, but I don't support him.
Okay, sorry, Harry. You have too much of an echo. I can't do that. We're gonna move on to
Oh,
the
yeah.
next guest. Everyone, just give us a minute. Sorry, you guys. The echo, it really gets to me. So my headphones are like really loud. And I could hear myself, like my own audios pipe back into my headphones. So when I have somebody that has like an echo and I could hear my voice through their mic, like it's that effect where it's like you hear yourself twice and it's a little delayed and it just like really fucks with you and makes you unable to speak. Welcome in, Gabrielle. Do you support Trump? Okay, Gabrielle's not here. We're gonna go ahead and throw the rules back up on the screen. Here we go, everybody. Make sure you're following the rules if you want to join. Only join if you're 18 plus, American, Maga, and most importantly, ready to debate. Those are the rules, chat. Those are the rules. Make sure that you are following them if you want to join. Let's go ahead and load that next guest up right now, Samantha. Thank you for the $1 over on Venmo. I appreciate that. And then Rosa, that is ROSA. Thank you for the $5 on PayPal. Rosa says, thank you for everything I do. Thank you, Rosa. And then Lauren, thank you for the $10 on PayPal. That is LAURYN. Lauren says, thank you for helping me sleep every night, Diva. Scotland gang, hell yeah. Fuck yeah. As well as Justin with another $25 over on PayPal. Thank you, Justin. Wow, there's actually a handful here. Timothy, thank you for the $10 on PayPal. They say, Dean, I love your show. You're young and super intelligent. Thank you, Timothy. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Then Othie, O-T-H-I-E says, you're amazing for putting up with this. It's insufferable. It definitely can be insufferable at times.
What? Hello?
And thank you for the $10, Othie. We have one more person
Can you hear me?
here. Let's just make sure that this guest isn't driving. Are you driving,
I
sir?
can hear music, but I can't hear him.
Okay, you can't hear me, and it definitely sounds like he's in a
There you
car.
go.
So we're gonna go to move on right now, y'all. We got Kiki
Oh,
loading
shit.
up. Yo, Eliza, thank you for the $20 on PayPal too. This was 13 minutes ago. Eliza says, I work in a small rural LCOC hospital. It pains me to hear people have no sympathy for those that simply cannot afford the outlandish cost of healthcare. Bro, literally no sympathy at all. Like, we literally had that guy up here earlier arguing that they should just fucking die, right? It's insane. And Eliza, I appreciate you for the $20. Everybody watching, show some love to Eliza down below. Welcome in. Do you support Trump?
No, but I did have a question.
Sorry, goodbye. Moving on to Jordan, guys. Make sure we're following the rules if we're trying to join. Please. Please. I'm fucking begging you. God damn it, I'm begging you. Moving on. Here we go. We got user 3232010898598592. Hello, user. Do you support Trump? Speak. No, he left. Boo. Okay, how about this? Just go ahead and put a big MAGA down below in that comment section if you want to join. This queue is just not working for us.
Hi, Dean.
Hi, do you support Trump?
Yeah.
Fuck you.
I love you too, Dean.
How old are you?
Oh, I'm 19.
What year were you born in?
I was born at
Get pushed! Moving on to the next guest. Here we go. That's a kid. We got AD34 loaded up into the box right now, everybody. Here we go, everyone. Jennifer, thank you for the $1 over on PayPal. And Samantha with a $1 too. I appreciate you guys for the love. Moving on to the next guest. Yo, let's see what we got. AD34 left. Get pushed, buddy. All right, guys. Very difficult. We got They Love Heidi loading in. You know, honestly, we've been talking to men all day long. If there happens to be a single woman that supports Trump that's watching, can you go ahead and put MAGA woman down below in the chat? I'm going to give the MAGA woman a little bit of a preference here because I'd like to, you know, also have a chat with somebody other than a man, right? Heidi, welcome in. Do you support Trump?
Hell no.
Get pushed. Guys, go ahead and put MAGA woman down below in the chat if you want to join. Yeah, Jimmy O, MAGA woman. Okay. Moving on to the next guest. We got Jealousy. Let him up in. Here we go, everybody. Hello, Jealousy. Do you support Trump?
Yeah.
Age, please.
Like, okay, so 19. But okay, I support him more than Kamala, so I don't support the things he says. I support like what he does for the country, and I support him more than Kamala.
Okay. Kamala's how you pronounce her name. What year were you born in?
2006.
Great. Apparently everybody's 19 born in 06 today. It's literally been every other guest. But hey, super quickly,
March.
what the hell is Trump doing that you support?
Well, he bombed Iran's nuclear sites.
Yeah, that was bad.
Nuclear.
That was very bad.
How is that bad?
Yeah, because of what it led to. It led to Iran revoking oversight clearance of the IAEA from even knowing what their nuclear capacities were at. Okay, so now we have no fucking clue how much enriched uranium they have, and we do know that we only set them back by a month or two per early U.S. intelligence reports. And additionally, if you care so much about Iran not having nukes, then you should hate Trump because in 2018, he pulled us out of an agreement with them, which restricted their ability to even build nukes in the first place.
Well, yeah, you don't want them having nukes because they could use it against you, obviously.
So would you say if we had a president that greenlit them into having nukes, that you would never support them?
I don't know.
Well, I mean,
Wait, why do you... Okay, tell me why you support Kamala.
Kamala?
Yeah, like, yeah, whatever. Tell me why you support her. No, okay, tell me what things she has promised and actually done.
Well, like for her presidential campaign with Joe Biden, the infrastructure bill, the American Rescue Plan, the PACT Act, the Chips and Science Act.
Okay, so why do you support her so much?
Well, I mean, I
Why do you
supported
think she's
her
better?
over Trump in the election because she wanted to make life easier for the African American and low-income Americans. Donald Trump wants to make it worse. And she's not just an authoritarian fascist, you know. Unlike Trump, you know, she's not firing the heads of the Bureau of Labor Statistics just because they're reporting job loss in the last month. And unlike Trump, she didn't advocate for executive orders that explicitly contradicted the Constitution.
Okay, so what would she do for the US though? What important things would she do for the US?
Yeah, she ran on ensuring that healthcare is more affordable for everybody by giving our government more renegotiating ability with private pharmaceutical companies, as well as she ran on policy to cap the most money that any American citizen could pay out of pocket for those private pharmaceuticals to $2,000 per year. She ran on tax cuts for 100 million American workers and the low and the middle class, and even more importantly, she ran on codifying federal protections for every American woman and girl's right to choose access to abortion. She also ran on some rent assistance. You know, she had a lot of good policy.
Okay, so can I tell you why I don't support her?
Sure.
Okay, so she blocked evidence that would have freed an innocent man from death row until the courts forced her to do so. She kept people in prison to use them for cheap labor in
Let's hone in on the
California.
first point. You said that she blocked evidence.
No, wait, I'm still talking.
I know, but you're
Yeah.
talking about multiple
I
points.
have more though. I have more.
Let's just go one point
Okay.
at a time, please.
Put
Dear
over
God.
1,500 people in
Let's
jail
ju-
for
let's just-
marijuana
okay.
violations.
Okay, well,
Okay.
I'm sorry. You actually just fucked yourself over because you can't say that on the live. I mean, I was trying to help you. I was trying to slow you down and have you go point by point, but then you said the name of a DRUG because you didn't listen to me and you continued to name off these points. Dude, okay. Anyways, her first point. She said that she blocked evidence from an innocent man on death row. No, that's not true. She attempted to block more wasteful spending on a guilty man on death row. That she
Kids off HRT, put them on fucking therapy. Get kids off HRT, put them on fucking therapy, you fucking...
You have to go through therapy in order to get a prescription for HRT. Holy shit.
Of course you pull up the...
I'm so sorry. Did you not know that?
Of course you pull up the black woman, you fucking DEI bitch. Why the fuck did you pull me up? You fucking DEI fucking scum.
Did you expect me to not pull you up? Can you answer the question? Are you saying if like black women literally get anything ever that they only got it because they're black women? Okay. Moving on to the next guest. Everyone just give us a minute. If you're in the queue, make sure that means that you support Trump. Everybody just give us a minute here, y'all. As well as Steven, thank you for the $5 over on PayPal. I appreciate you so much for the love, man. And then Samantha once again with $1. Oh, quickly also, Hunter, thank you so much for the $10 over on Venmo. Hunter says, honestly, just wanted to know your gym splits. Dude, my gym splits are all over the place. For a while, I did PPL, like push-pull legs. But I thought that doing chest, tris, and shoulders in one day was a little bit too much for me because I'm very like chest heavy in my workouts. So then I moved like shoulders over to buys and back day. And that's kind of like my modified version of PPL. Even though I technically work shoulders out 2 days in a row, I'll try to like split it up with like a break day or a leg day in between. Welcome in, Hellcat. Do you support Trump? Okay, yes, not y'all. For the 13,000 people that are in the live stream, welcome in. We are debating Trump supporters today, as we always do. Today's definitely been interesting, just to say the least. We've had some calm people that are willing to debate, some other people that not so much. It's been some here, some there, but at the end of the day, we're going to continue to try to provide debates for y'all. Now, quickly, before we hop into this debate with AD34, let me quickly thank Reagan for the $25 over at Venmo. Reagan, you are fantastic. Thank you so much, Reagan. That is REIGAN. Reagan says, I just wanted to thank you for speaking for those of us who cannot speak for ourselves or get shunned for it. I love you and I love all that you do. Reagan, that is so kind. Thank you. Everybody, please show some love to them down below in the comment section. I love you too, and thank you for the $25 donation. You are awesome. As well as Matt with the $10 over on YouTube Super Chat. Base. Now, AD34, welcome in. Do you support Trump?
Yeah, kinda, sorta.
Okay, how old
my
are you?
parents. I just turned 18.
Wait, okay. All right, take it away.
Yeah. So one of my biggest things I kind of want to talk about was the Mexicans and the border stuff. Because do you sorry. Do you agree with all that stuff? I'm just a quick question.
Do I agree with Mexicans?
I'm
I'm gonna need a little bit. I'm gonna need a little bit.
Illegal deportation. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Oh, okay.
Illegal
Deportations?
Deportation. Yes.
No, so I
you
completely
agree with that?
disagree with mass deportation. I think it's one of the worst policies that we've seen in modern American history.
All right. I just want to say I feel like that's a little bit out of line, and I mean it's a law, like it's a rule that you're not allowed to come past the border, through the border. We have a legal way we can do it, and they're not saying, oh, you can't come in, period. They're saying, hey, we got a way you can come in the country, and that you can do it a legal way. And I feel like that's.
I have a question.
Answer.
If you think that we should forcefully remove people from the country for committing a misdemeanor, why are you okay with somebody that has been found guilty of 34 felonies living in the White House?
That's why I always say I'm kinda with Trump. I'm not see my dad, he's a big Maga guy. I'm not the biggest Trump, so don't get me wrong, I like I do support him, but I'm not like this biggest Trump supporter.
Were you born in 2009?
Huh?
Were you born in
I was born in 2007. No.
Why does it say 09 in your username?
Does not say over 9 in my username. It says 34.
Okay. Well, now he's just lying. I was going to let him stay up, but due to that lie, we're going to go to kick him. Dude was fucking jacked for 16. Good for you, man. Good for you, man. I wish I was that jacked when I was 16. I remember trying to be that jacked when I was 16. I mean, I made some progress. Didn't get that far, though. Welcome in. Do you support Trump?
Yeah.
That is a child. We're going to move on to the next guest. Let's go to get that next guest up in here. We got VTech loaded in right now. Everyone, just give us a minute. Welcome in. Do you support Trump? By the way, his username did literally say 09, so... All right, let's try to get the next guest loaded into the box. If we're in that queue, make sure that we support you up, everybody. Please, only request to join if you...
What's up, broski?
What's up, man? You support Trump?
Hell no, bro. But I'm not from America. I'm living in New York.
Okay, I'm going to go put the rules back up on screen. Everybody, quite frankly, look at me. If you're on TikTok, if you're on YouTube, do whatever the fuck you want because you can't see what's on the screen on TikTok right now. But if you're on TikTok, what do you see in front of you? What do you see in front of you if you are on TikTok? You see the rules to join. Only join if 18 plus, American, MAGA, and ready to debate. Take a good look, take a good read. Quite frankly, the rules are so fucking important. Like they are like the most important part of this whole thing, right? So make sure you're following them if you're trying to join. So let's now try to move on to the next guest. Let's get another debate up in here. While we are, Rachel, thank you for the $10 over on Venmo, saying I'm disabled plus a military spouse. I listen daily. I'm so glad there's a prominent pro-choice voice. 3 of my friends are pregnant. Plus, it could kill me, so this legit saves lives. Yeah, I wish people talked more about that. I think that restrictions on women's access to abortion right now is one of the biggest issues in the country. C-Rom7, are you a veg? I don't know. I just have a feeling that...
Yo, you can hear me?
I can. How old are you?
20.
What year were you born in?
What flavor vape you hit?
It's not a vape. Hello, Max. No, Max, come back. Pookie. Pookie, come back. This isn't you, Max. Stop running from me, Pookie. No, he left. Okay. Moving on. Mary Collins, I sent you an invite to join. All right, let's go to move on to the next guest right now. All right, let's go to get that next guest loaded up in here. Yo, cool. Thank you for the Galaxy. I have a question, Dave. Is that Nova?
Yeah, it's Nova with the dreadlocks.
What the hell? How old are you?
What? You don't fuck with the dreadlocks?
How old are you?
18.
What year were you born in?
07.
Okay, do you support Trump?
Yeah, bro. Yo, I just got one thing to say, bro. Gerbert mugs the fuck out of you, bro. Gerbert mug.
Goodbye. Moving on to the next guest. I'm losing my mind. I'm losing my mind, Chad. I'm losing my mind. We got Infault 2 loading up in here. All right. Hello, what's going on? Do you support Trump?
I do.
Age?
19.
19? Why the hell? Oh, wait, sorry. I need to stop saying that. Why the hell do you support Trump?
I don't know. I just wanted to let you know that Cookie King mogs you.
Yeah, the melt maxing, it's really been mogging, man.
Bro.
So true.
You should try to melt Max. Can we see?
Get out of here, bro. God! Follow the rules! Please! Please follow the rules. Oh my goodness. Oh my god, yo, Ann!
Hey man, what's up?
What's up, Lucas? Give me a second here. Ann, thank you for the $50 donation over on PayPal. Jeez, Ann. Holy shit. Thank you. Ann says, hello from Quebec City. Thank you for all that you do. My American brother supports Trump, but they refuse to talk to me about politics. Your live streams help me understand what they might be thinking. Ann, I get it. I have family too. It sucks, Ann. Thank you for the $50, and I hope that everything's going all right. Thank you, Ann, as well as Veteran. Thank you for the $20 over on YouTube Super Chat once again. Show some love to Ann and Veteran down below in those chats while we're hopping into this next conversation with Lucas. Once again, that is Ann and Veteran. Now, Lucas, do you support the Orange Menace?
Yeah, man, I do.
This guy, look at him.
I mean,
Okay,
he's
all right.
pretty handsome.
Okay, we're gonna gotta move on. He came on here just to call Trump handsome and like flush a toilet. I don't know, not my thing. We're gonna gotta move on here, y'all. I'm gonna be honest, guys. I'm losing my fucking mind. I'm losing it. It's gone. I'm gone, dude. Chat, listen. I'm losing it. Okay, listen. Before I started my stream today, I was at Zen. Okay, I was at peace. I had a nice brunch. Okay, I had a nice nap on the couch with the sun rays hitting my face. Oh my god, it was great. And now I'm having to deal with like 13-year-olds flushing toilets. When I'm just I don't
Come
know.
on, bro.
What's up? You support Trump?
Bro. Fuck America. Fuck United States.
Okay. Moving on. Because we're looking for Trump supporters to debate. Please. Let's go to get that next guest up here. Hello, do you support Trump?
Hello.
Okay. We're going to go to put the rules back up on the screen. Only join if you're 18 plus American Maga and ready to debate. Bro, stop fucking breaking the rules. Come on, dude. Just like, please, you guys, moving on to Don. Here we go. Give us a minute. Yo, what's up? You Maga?
Yeah, man, 100%. What's going on?
Oh, dude, 100%? Like when we figured out that he was
100%.
when we figured out that he was lying about not being on the Epstein files, that didn't bump it down to like 99?
Well, we all know he was there.
Okay, shouldn't that bump it down to like at least 98?
I've read the stories about. No, it's still 100%. People do mistakes.
Okay, buddy, child rape isn't a mistake.
Oh, whoa! Now you're doing accusations. Do you have evidence?
You said that he was there, right? I assume that you mean on the island.
Yeah, but you just took it from he was there to he raped.
I mean, you said that he made a mistake on like Jeffrey Epstein's island. I think that
I
could
said
only
people
mean you
make
think one
mistakes.
thing.
I said people make mistakes.
But you said that relative to him being on the island.
No, all I said is yeah, he was on an island. A lot of people were on the island.
Right, you said he was on the island and he made mistakes. What other conclusion would
I
that
said people
possibly
make
lead me to?
mistakes.
What was that in reference to? You don't just say, okay, listen, you don't just make statements in reference to nothing, okay? Typically, your statements are going to be in reference to one another. So when you make a sentence, right, with an independent and a dependent clause, right, and the independent clause was Trump was there on the island, and then the dependent clause was people make mistakes, obviously the dependent clause is going to be in reference to the context of the independent clause, meaning
You
it
can
is
see
in
it that way,
reference to
correct?
saying that Donald Trump was on the island.
Well, I agree. If you see it that way, then yeah, I agree with you. But all I said is people make mistakes, and
He's Canadian. Goodbye. Said it in his bio. Moving on. Here we go. Chat, follow the rules. Dear lordy lord. Oh my god, you guys. We got JP loading up in right now. Sherry, thank you for the $25 over on Venmo,
Fuck
Sherry.
you.
Oh, Jesus Christ, JP. Listen, bro, real quick before I kick you. Name one demographic of people that you look intelligent to. Oh, he left on his own. Okay. Let's go ahead and see what that next guest has to say. We're going to go ahead and get them loaded in. We got Jordan connecting to the live right now. But once again, back to Sherry with a $25 donation because we got rudely interrupted by like a 12-year-old. Sherry said, vintage liberal woman here. Keep doing you and don't change. Thank you. Sherry, I thank you for being here. I think that's pretty awesome. Please, everybody show some love to Sherry down below. As well as Condra with a $12 over on Venmo saying, hey, Dean, I know at times it's difficult finding a viable Trump supporter. Because let's face it, who can still support that animal? No, I mean, it's annoying, right? But at the end of the day, you know, it is suffering from success because all that means is less people support him. And I think that needs to that needs to be understood. That needs to be talked about. It's good, actually. Also, Keegan, thank you for the $10 on Venmo. Keegan says, I watch your streams daily at work. Thank you for making the world a better place and my workday's much more fun. Good, Keegan. That makes me so happy. Thank you. Welcome in. What is going on, Eric? Do you support Trump?
Yeah.
Age?
21.
Okay, and why the hell do you support Trump?
Cause border policy.
What border policy?
Oh, you know, because he's letting Cookie King in to mock the fuck out of you.
Melt maxing on top, right?
Yep. Basically, yeah.
Yeah, the melt maxing has just been doing wonders for him.
Yeah, I just had to let you know.
I don't know. When do you think the joke's gonna die? We're going on like 4 months now.
You tell me, man.
Okay. All right. Everybody watching. So now we have collected a total of 2 flags so far in the live stream. Once again, those flags just kind of naturally happen. You know, they come with the conversations. And you know what we got to do is we have to protect the safety of the live. We usually do this once or twice a day. It is unfortunately something that we have to do in order to protect the live stream. So we're going to have to restart real quick. Now, typically my restarts take like 10 seconds. But in the middle of the restart this time around, I'm also going to go use the restroom real quick. So instead of like directing you guys to go back to my profile, which you can still do if you want to wait like 30 or 40 or so seconds, just follow my TikTok account. You know, if you want to come back, just follow the TikTok account. These restarts are super quick, and we have to do them for the safety and the health of the live stream, or else we lose our access to go live. And since we've started doing these restarts, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but we haven't gone banned. Like, before we started doing these restarts, we would be on a different account every single day, and some days not on any account, because we would always be banned. But now, the account hasn't been banned, and we've been here every day for 4 hours. So that's pretty fucking awesome. I'm going to go ahead and hit that restart. I'll be back in around 30 to 40 seconds.